Is the wide shot wide right now?
Yeah, I set it so it's got the backdrop framed to the edges.
Let's show our setup a little.
All right.
Why is it so tight, the tilt?
How's sound?
Yeah, there's sound coming through.
All right, for people who are watching, we're still in the setup phase. We still have setup for another 20 minutes, but you will start seeing stuff soon. We're just turning it on streaming early. All right, let's find those batteries.
All right, so card A has something. So Tom, card A has what we recorded at your place.
Those top 10 lists?
No, that was not this camera. That must have been that one. The only one thing on this camera is when we had this bad boy set up over the table and we were doing something.
Oh, that's fine. But I mean, how much room do we have on it?
It's the B is empty, so you want to just go to B?
Well, I mean, that is just like a 30 seconds, right?
So I'm kind of giving you guys a pan around the room so you guys can see what's going on. And what we have, you see where Tom and Z are setting up those cameras. So those two cameras we're going to eventually do the interviews that we're doing today. Those interviews are going to be cut down and edited as well. So not only are we live streaming and showing you kind of a behind the scenes / in the scene,
5 hours and 44
we're
minutes.
also going
No big
to
deal. They each have
we're also
2 cards
going
in each, so
to
no big deal.
then
So there's no reason to pull
actually
anything off
cut
the cards.
interviews, and you can see we have a new jib. This is the jib we used during the live gaming when we did the gaming with Rahdo the other day. This jib will actually sits over the table so we can get shots of the board in a better angle than we used to in the past. Below it, we have a straight-on camera as well for the interview. This live camera, I don't believe we're going to cut into the interviews later. We're just using it to show you what's going on, and we'll also, obviously, you'll be seeing the interviews live as they happen, but you'll be able to watch edited versions of the videos later as well. So this is kind of our setup. As you see, we have new lighting as well with shadow box lighting. We have this nice new jib, which is actually it's a weighted jib and everything. We're actually not moving it during this, but it is movable where we could actually do jib tracking shots if we wanted to. And there's Suzanne setting up, and over here we have 2 more lights. So we have nice lights. We have this great backdrop. This backdrop is gorgeous. For those of you who got our 2014 Dice Tower playmat, this is basically the same. This is basically the same as the playmat. So this is our backdrop. It's kind of, I think it's great. I mean, we wanted it to be pop, and this really pops like the way the playmats pop. And the good thing about it is because it uses kind of I guess a old-looking paper style color. It's good because it doesn't take away when people will be sitting there for the interviews. So it will make the people stand out from the backdrop as well, but it still is distinctively the Dice Tower. And we're very happy with this. This backdrop will be traveling with us to conventions. If you're at Origins, if you're at Gen Con, this backdrop will now travel with us. This is our new thing. We used to have those little standees, but now we have this giant thing, and we are very, very happy. As well, we went from the yellow tables. Now we have these new Dice Tower tables. So we have new tablecloths that we got as well.
I bought like 10 packs.
Again, as usual, thank you to all of the supporters, the Kickstarter backers, because without this, we wouldn't have been able to do any of this. And it's so great for all of your support that you're able to get us equipment. We have new equipment, better equipment, a jib, things that we wouldn't have had without all of your support and donations. And we're very, very thankful for that.
Like, pull them all the way up to the table?
In addition, on this side of the room, let me show you. So we have, here's our streaming computer. We also, as you can see, we have 2 more tablecloths there. We have a black tablecloth and a red tablecloth, and we have a 4th one. I don't know what color the 4th one is, but we do have a 4th tablecloth as well. We also have new audio equipment. We have now these new Shure wireless microphones. So instead of using those old ones that we used to use, which you can see in the front part of the table, we now
And we even have a
are
third
using
set
these
for Sam's.
wireless microphones with receivers, so we stepped up our microphones as well, which is going to be good because obviously in future broadcasts, when top 10 lists are done, everyone will have their own microphone, an individual microphone, instead of just Tom wearing a microphone in the middle with Sam and Z talking into Tom's. We'll now have individual mics for each person, which will add a lot to the quality of the audio for all of the things that we do. Like for this, we're going to be miking up both whoever's doing the interview as well as the person who's being interviewed. So individual microphones, which can be individually controlled, and sound levels could be controlled on it, is very nice.
Took these batteries out.
So let me put you back to the main shot and give you a wide shot so you again can see our little setup for this, which is basically a jib and a straight on. And of course, this live one will be going in and out and kind of giving you all sorts of vantage points as we go on through the day. But I'm gonna lock it down for now because I have to help finish the setup, and we'll continue on.
Okay, what else do I have to do? I don't understand why these batteries aren't working. I just opened them up from this pack.
Is it one of those things where some of them die and some of them don't?
How do you tell if it's working? Do you hold it?
You have to put your finger on the top and the bottom. Yeah, this one's fine. Look, you put one finger on the bottom and you push the button. This one's fine. No, you have to use the same hand. Same hand. Okay, good to me. That one's fine. This one's fine too. Look,
I understand that, then why is, oh, now it's working.
this one's fine too.
All right.
Do we have any comments?
We had a straight shot of his firearms from landing here.
I don't understand why these are not working in these things. You got them working in, put it in that thing. see if it
Okay.
works.
No, it isn't working in this. Is the receiver bad?
Well, the hope doesn't technically tomorrow.
The battery's not working in this.
Yeah, sure.
Is it on?
I turned it on and it wasn't working.
I don't understand that. Okay.
For those of you talking about this right now,
I won't worry about it. Hang on.
we see the chat comments. Those new wireless microphones use different batteries than these current batteries we use on the current microphones. So you won't have these
Well,
problems
let's,
with the future, even though today we're still using the old ones with the new ones.
Are these like not strong enough batteries? If that's so, I'm in some serious, they're Duracell though.
No, let me try another one. If not, are we gonna have to run and get some batteries quickly?
Not right away. We got chassis enough for us for a while.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, okay, yeah, 'cause they don't work in the receiver and they only work in the microphone end.
Well, different batteries work, fine.
Yeah, chassis batteries are working.
No, but see, this one doesn't work in this one. I don't understand
Like
that.
the quantum, the quantum battery?
Yeah, that's yours.
Did none of them work in these?
Yeah, well, the mics aren't on, so we can certainly set up and talk
Well,
without.
then people will,
That's working.
Yeah.
people will just have to see fit it on.
Yeah, oh, yes.
All right.
What did I say?
Which side person?
This one works, this
Either one,
Duracell one
I'll be
works.
with you on the other chair.
Really? Yeah. So it sits up in
Or is that dead?
approximately the range.
No. Leave it in.
So this Duracell one works in here.
Just remember,
These
we
other
actually,
Dur-
on this
but
one, we
is
don't
the
have
old
the full
Duracell.
table
Oh, good.
in
Oh,
monitor.
that's
Okay.
awesome, actually. Where's the line?
So right about at
This
the
one
edge
is
of the
A.
chair that you're,
Yeah,
like,
here's
on the
one
outside
is-
edge, like
So
right
this
in
area,
there.
like, could be a staging
From
area?
where your hand
That one's on?
that way is not showing in camera essentially.
Fantastic. That's what
This
I'm
is
looking
the
There you go.
microphone of the
for.
receiver.
Grab things and bring them into the shop.
Let's see how they work.
Okay, we're putting the microphone now, so we'll have to regular microphone.
Test.
One way or the other, if it hits a stop, go the other way.
Do we have the other mics set up? Eric, are those ready to go? Because you're gonna want those at the table.
Oh, the one up there?
How's this one sounding? Testing.
It's looking
I don't
good,
even know if I can
mic
mix that.
levels look good.
Testing 1, 2, 3. See if we can slide this over just a bit so that maybe we can get that boom out of the thing.
Oh, no, I did a wide shot on purpose because I was showing everyone the new setup. We'll zoom in. We'll zoom in once we start.
We don't want to dwell on any.
So it's gonna be more like this when we start, Tom. It'll be more like this. It'll be more of a shot like this.
Golly, those lights, but it's still a little.
So that's gonna kind of be the live shot when we actually do it. We'll do a shot
All right.
like that. But for now, we're just showing everyone the setup, so I'm gonna pull back out quickly.
I want to try the Google Doc again to see if it will be big enough to go through.
All right, Eric, I'm gonna leave this in front of the table, I guess. This is the live streaming one.
Okay.
Should I put it behind you? I don't know. Where
Behind me would seem
No,
like
that wouldn't be good.
wouldn't
Your
work very well.
voices are gonna come this way.
No, it looks
Well, where's the internet down here? Did you guys bring that?
I didn't. Someone did.
Chaz, did you bring the internet down here for a reason?
I love that phrase.
I just thought you wanted it, so.
We don't need it. We're plugged in directly.
I have brought the internet.
You have brought the internet.
Just so you know,
The whole internet
the
is here
whole
with us now.
internet is here right now.
Oh man.
Hello, internet.
Hello.
Eric said you guys didn't get it.
I actually don't know. You could well be streaming that.
You figured it out.
Was the speed okay?
All right. Do I need this on?
What do you mean?
Probably don't need
But
this.
it works for what we need it to work. We can surf the internet at a hotel without saying that.
Well, that's beautiful.
You were
Good job.
somewhere.
I've never done an interview before in my life.
I understand, I learned my lesson beating you.
Do I have it? This is weird. It's strangely
We
left-handed.
didn't finish. We didn't finish. We didn't finish the game, which was very fortunate for him.
It should, in theory. These are brand new. So.
Yeah, it's like,
I feel like me and Ronnie were about
I
to
guess
march
it's
in
gonna have to be
unison.
like that.
Don't try to blame this on Canada.
Blame it on Canada.
I think there's a way to turn it around if
Okay,
you
I've
really want
talked
to.
to Fireside
If you want to
Games,
fiddle
I
with
know
it.
they're coming.
Well, it just
I'm gonna
looks a
go
bit
find Patrick.
gauche.
Yeah, let me see 1 second. I think
Sunglasses on.
I want it to go the other way.
Yeah. By the way, if you break this
I know, I'm in
solely
big
because of my
trouble.
vanity.
And we don't have to, we're not stuck on these times, so as soon as you guys are ready, we can go.
Oh yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
Is everyone in there doing their things? Who's running what?
Yeah, I don't want to
I've
miss
got
it.
the, I've got the live.
It's all good.
You're in the front camera.
Mine's facing the right way, which is weird.
Alright,
I think whoever put the clip on, I blame whoever assembled the clip.
That is the right person to blame.
Okay, for today, before we jump on this, Eric, I'm knocking you out of AEG.
Knocking me out of AEG.
I'll go pop in that one myself and see if it matters.
Okay.
What else did we have for today? Sam, I'm gonna still have you do, Games Workshop at 11. Do you need, did you say it was not important? Did you ask him? I thought we should have asked him. But they're announcing anything there.
We might as well start it.
All right, so then
Yeah,
go to that. but
in
I will
6
come back
minutes.
when it goes.
Like,
As soon as they're ready to go, yes.
I will probably have you do Steve Jackson.
And what time is that?
That's at 1.
Okay.
Oh, Chaz, you were doing AEG. Never mind. I'm knocking you out of that for now.
In
And I'll,
case, in case
Rip this
anyone's
oaks up in the
wondering
air.
what Tom's
I'll let you
talking
know. I'll be
about.
back before that.
Okay.
So, in case anyone's wondering what Tom's talking about,
Action phase,
all
we
of
can
the
slide
game
it in somewhere
companies
in this
have,
first open spot.
I'm only talking
And
over
I'm
here for
gonna
the
be
mic, but all of the game companies, they do seminars where they show their new products. Obviously, you're gonna see them here, because they're gonna also bring them here, but we're also going out and we're gonna be going in rounds and going to the different announcements as they show us the new games, so we have an advanced knowledge. So then when we present the product to you, it'll be much easier to discuss things, because we've already seen what they're
Are you
showing.
talking to live
He's,
people?
he's talking to the live people.
Yeah,
You will
no,
just-
we're
When to do that.
completely live. Like,
So-
we're just background.
The streaming camera is the one off to the left. there.
Oh, sure.
So that
I
they're
just like
getting
I
a-
just like that we were sort of
would do that soon as-
topiary.
I know we were like we were the potted plants in that particular
Yeah.
tableau
Hey,
right there.
look, you know, I mean,
And then our main camera is right in front of us, and you can actually see our overhead. That's what is visible to
Oh,
the
nice.
overhead camera.
Okay, yeah, all right,
So
cool.
we're kind of going for this general area. Here you go, mostly in front of you.
Face to like that. Okay, cool. Facing that, everything facing that way?
Everything will be facing that way, and the camera's also. So if you have a card oriented or a tableau
Pointed
oriented,
toward the end of the thing.
yeah,
No
that's it.
probs.
You should be able to see your own,
We can see
Are
yep,
we-
what we
are
got
we-
there. And
your own setup there.
I assume we're talking to that camera,
Yeah.
even if the streaming camera's over there.
the
Right?
streaming camera is more of a like behind the scenes sort of thing.
Sure.
So You know.
Sounds great.
So yes, we're talking to the 4K camera in front of us.
That sounds like a fine. Hi, 4K.
Hello. You can name it.
Forky. I'm gonna call it Forky.
Hey, Forky.
Good job, Forky. You're doing it.
You're doing a good job.
You're
Good
my-
first day, Forky.
You're my kind of camera. Oh, am I literally the first thing you're doing?
You were our first interview. Yeah,
Oh, well,
we had all set up yesterday, and
Everyone else? Anything you guys want to tweet or whatever, just tweet it on your own channels.
Oh,
Say @Dice Tower and I'll retweet it.
speaking of which,
Way to do it.
why don't I do that right now?
yeah, do it.
Hold on.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind, Sam. We should open up Twitter and everything here, and you should tweet
Who's on at particular
who's
times?
on the channel and say, hey, right now, whoever's on here, and then we'll put it up in another tab. So can you
Do-
open up Twitter in like the inbox tab so that my email's not there for the world.
Can somebody tell me where I'm sending people?
The Dice Towers YouTube channel.
And is it?
Right, and then just copy the live
There
feed
should be
and
a
then put it
live
on
feed
the-
link up right now.
About to.
Maybe if we can, because we have a little walkway here.
All right, Eric, it's all on you. When to go, don't forget to clap. I'm gonna go hunt people down. Text me if you guys need me. The schedule's here. It's gonna change. real
We have a
fast.
printed out version. That's good.
Let me make sure I'm mobile.
Do.
Yeah. What's that?
Wow. Hey, nice chat.
Ooh, good job. That's the worst. Are hashtags supposed to have 3 octothorpes in them?
I don't think they're supposed to.
that's
I don't know what. Maybe that unlocks the bonus level of Twitter.
Oh, that'd be awful.
You know, once he's done, he's
Okay, give me what should I say?
I'm not gonna detach.
For location.
Check out the Dice Towers YouTube channel.
Check out. Is it just the Dice Tower?
Yeah.
As one word?
As one word, the Dice Tower.
Is it YouTube.com/the Dice Tower?
I think that's right?
Yeah.
YouTube.com/the Dice Tower. Yeah.
Okay.
You're holding that like a pro.
Yeah, the best.
Gentle,
The
I need to be the
best.
grip.
Wait, he's not doing so well? You could hold it better. Hold it better. That is better.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna make this.
Fortunately, I know Mike.
We're gonna make this
That's
real.
easy. It's when
Now everyone sees you're not a genius, sir.
Right.
They see Chaz holding.
they see Chaz holding.
This
This behind the scenes camera is a terrible
People
idea.
didn't know Mike Selinker's the one here, and that's his name on Chaz's thing, because that way, in case we ever
Very,
forget,
very
there's a name
helpful.
there to see. It's a little thing to read
It
about.
is a good idea. After like the 6th interview, when I can't remember my own name, it's good to have that up
Seriously.
there.
Your last name?
Like that?
Selinker.
L-I-N-K-E-R, okay.
And I had that memorized. I did not read that off anything.
No, you know what's up.
Wait for a sec, for this side. Joking.
I pressed Mike.
Post. I am so close to being done. You have no idea.
Oh, that's great.
Like so close.
And we're right about on time to start. So whenever you
Watch
are
look at
you are
that.
comfortable and ready, and
I have publish immediately. Do it
you
immediately.
should do that right now.
Don't ask me when you want to publish it. Publish it now. All right. I have made the internet aware. We've brought the internet.
I think good. The internet is here finally. Are we
Yay,
ready to go,
internet.
guys? Let's start recording on. We're recording up there as well.
We are.
Okay. Ready?
Should be a little red dot on the screen.
Yes, I see a little red
Good
dot.
to go.
Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome back to our coverage of the GAMA Trade Show 2016. I'm Eric Summerer here with Mike Selinker from Lone Shark Games. Mike, welcome to Vegas.
Hey, did you? Are you the first people to come to Vegas? I didn't.
We're not the first ones, but
Oh, I
we
see, okay.
we set up an outpost here in this
Oh,
little
okay.
corner
I just
of
assumed
valleys.
I just assumed you.
It's not our
created-
place.
Oh, you didn't create
Yeah,
Vegas.
we're
Okay.
we're renting.
Oh, good. Well, I'm happy to be here.
So Lone Shark Games sort of made its like debut last year at GAMA as its own independent studio. You're pretty much known for doing designs for other folks.
Yeah.
And so let's start with what's coming up for those other folks before
Sure.
we get to your own products.
Sure. Well, a lot of people know us for the Pathfinder Adventure card game,
Mm-hmm.
which has been going for a couple years now, and thank you for making it your #1
I
game.
love this
That was-
game.
that
My
was-
my kid loves it too.
That was awesome. we've announced some things for that. We have Mummy's Mask, which is I think our best set ever. That's coming out later this fall, and the Goblin decks, which are crazy and nutball nonsense. And that's coming out this summer. And Goblins Fight and Goblins Burn. And I think people are gonna totally dig that because it's just we took all of our insane stuff and put it into one place.
And so the Goblin decks are not a full set. It's
No, they're like
add-on packs.
they're like class decks except they pay no attention to the rules. And
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, it's so yeah, that's going great. Good plans for that in 2017 as well. You know, just things are going well there. And we've been doing some things for other companies too. We just helped launch Shadows over Innistrad for Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
Did a giant set of escape rooms in Detroit,
fun.
Melbourne, and Sydney all on the same weekend.
Oh, boy.
It was insanity. It was the
Okay.
biggest launch we've ever done, and people just went crazy for it. We had costumed angels and giant cathedrals that we built and just all this nonsense.
Wow.
So we're real happy with, you know, we get to work with the coolest people and we get the coolest toys. And so yeah, we love, I mean, people are like, "Oh my God, you guys are going independent. You're going to stop doing everything for everybody else." And no way. Not if they keep rolling up with this awesome stuff.
So it seems like you've barely had enough time to work on your own projects, but
There's
you
a little bit of
have
that.
found a niche of time.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. I mean, we definitely have a balance. I mean, we have strong commitments to people, and we definitely make those. But now we have strong commitments to other people. We've had Kickstarter, a couple of big Kickstarter campaigns, and those people we take extremely seriously. And so we're going to get them some pretty cool stuff this year.
All right, so let's. What do we want to talk about first?
Sure. So, I mean, as you said, we started to publish our own thing. People may know this, The Maze of Games, which is the book that we showed off on the Dice Tower last year. And so we're like, okay, I guess we can make a thing by ourselves.
Okay.
And then we decided to make what might be literally the largest game in the world.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called the Apocrypha Adventure Card Game.
Yes.
It's right here, except this is only half of it.
That's only half of it.
Yeah, and this weighs 8 pounds. Yeah,
Okay.
It's massive. We decided to make something that could play extremely well as both an RPG and as a standalone card game.
Right.
And that was a terrifying goal because like everybody was like, "That's not you can't."
You can't.
That's
Yes.
not a thing, right? Because one of those is going to suffer. Right?
Yeah.
And we're like, no, it's not. So this is a card game with, like, I don't know if the exact number at this point, like 72 pages of story content.
Oh, wow.
And it's got over 1,300 cards, and it's set in the modern day, but it's got settings all over North America. There's essentially 10 different campaigns built into the game. The general concept is that you are people who can see that there are monsters in the world even though no one else can. And and it is by far the richest, deepest game we've ever made. It is, every single piece of art has some sort of hidden information in it.
Yeah.
Every card has something that you don't expect. Every card has flavor text on it. The stories are by the best people in the world, Pat Rothfuss and Aaron Evans and Keith Baker and Wolf Bauer and just Jerry Holkins from Penny Arcade, just the biggest, all the best authors that we know. And so, I mean, we went all out. It's got some like 600 pieces of art in it. We're hoping that we're just a couple months away from being done with it.
Okay.
We're like
So close.
turns out 600 pieces of art is a lot of art.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's not all quite in yet, but it's coming in. It's the best art we've ever made. I mean, by far. If you go to any of the Kickstarter updates, you will be blown away. Or go to the Lone Shark page. It's the most beautiful game.
All right.
And hopefully be out real soon. And it's just, I don't know, one of the biggest things we've ever done. So
Okay.
I think it's going to be great.
So after this one, we're moving on to the ninth world.
Yeah, so we, while we were making Apocrypha, we were like, okay, this is going to be a major, major project. So let's go let's do a smaller thing.
Okay.
Right? And then that sounded like a really good idea. So my friends, Paul Peterson and Bo Radokovich, came to me with this game, and it was this really nice, core, tight little game engine. I was like, I totally want that. And now I'm going to complicate it quite a bit. Because that's kind of what I do.
Let's see what I can do to this.
Yeah, but this is the ninth world.
Okay.
The ninth world is set in the universe of Monty Cook's Numenera.
Numenera.
Yeah, and it's 1 billion years in the future. So what we did is we made a game that allows you to explore one of the most rich and positive worlds that's been out there. Basically, the world of man has come and gone over 8 ages, right? So there's all these civilizations that have crashed and burned,
Okay.
but they've left all this stuff behind.
Okay.
Right, and you're just walking along the roadside. You're like, oh, look, there's a thing that looks like a combination blender and crab. Let me put that on my head and see what it does.
Okay.
Right, and that could
Yeah.
have some negative consequences
All
or
right.
some really positive consequences.
Okay.
It is a brilliant world. As soon as I started playing in it, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever, best RPG that I've played in a lot of years. It has one of the great character generation concepts of all time, which is that characters are, I'm an adjective noun that verbs.
Okay.
Right, and so what you do is you like get it. Say, okay, I'm a clever automaton that tears through the landscape with fire, right?
Sure.
Or, whatever. And so then you build a character concept around it. Now this isn't an RPG. This is both, but it is both a competitive and a cooperative game.
Okay.
It has a cooperative mode that, quite frankly, we weren't actually planning to put in the game, and then our Kickstarter backers really wanted it.
Demanded it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we made it, and it was actually just as much fun as the competitive mode we've been playing for a while. So it's really good. This is a toward the end of the year release for us.
Okay.
And
Basic mechanisms here. What sort of
it's
game are we
called-
talking about?
So the name of the game is The Ninth World, a skill building game for Numenera. And everybody goes, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
A skill building.
Yeah, so skill building game is this. Unlike a deck building game, you get a deck of cards and you bring cards into it and you refine it over time, but you randomly pull those cards out. And we were like, that's fine, but that's a lot of guesswork. Let's give you 5 cards, and those cards you will build over time. And so you always have 5 cards in your hand, no matter what.
Okay.
And you build those up, you build those skills the way you want to do it. Then you go out on a landscape of the Ninth World, a different place. Each one is very different. Each location is very different, and there's 10 of them in the game. And you go explore these locations and bid over the course of the game for, I'm going to scout now, I'm going to do combat now, I'm going to do some things, and you get better at those things over the course of the game. You continually get into conflict with other people over what it is you want to get, and even in the cooperative mode, you discover that the world is trying to kill you, so you have to plan against that, and you go out into the far landscape, you come back, hopefully a greater and more enriched adventurer.
Okay.
And that's basically it. I mean, it's a really revolutionary mechanic, this skill building thing, and I think that there's going to be a bunch of these kinds of games. And
Okay.
I guess I get down that road a lot, right? When I come up with a new thing, or my friends come up with a new thing, we're like, okay, I guess this is what we can imagine this doing. And then somebody else comes along, or we start playing with it again, and I'm like, it can do this thing too. It
Okay.
can do that thing. So that's kind of what happened with the adventure card game mechanic, and I think that'll happen with the skill.
So you
building.
said end of the year is what you're looking at
Yeah,
for this one.
yeah. We're expecting that. The Apocrypha is sort of blotting out the sun for us at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
Right, but we've been actually commissioning quite a bit of art and new developments on this as well, and I feel like both of these are going to be in the hands of customers, before they know it.
Very quickly, you're working on a very light game coming out as well.
So you don't lose like all your time to these giant games and not come up with a bunch of different
Silly ideas to fill the
So
spaces.
my friends Paul and Storm made a song called Sausage Party.
Okay.
And I was like, I can write a game about that.
Sure.
So this is the first time anybody's ever seen.
Yeah, let's see some of these cards.
So John Kovalik came up with. The general concept is, you are making a grill full of sausages, and they're just really fun little sausages, and you're trying to make the best, most perfect length sausages. Now, there's no double entendres in this.
No, it's just about
Yeah.
sausages.
But sausages, as you probably guess, can't be complete unless they go in the buns.
Right.
Right. So again, no double entendre. Anyway, so this is the Ashcan edition. We took it out on a boat. It's the Joko cruise.
Yeah,
and played it with a bunch of people, and everybody loved it. Game takes about 2 minutes to play.
Oh, wow.
It's up to 4 players. It's insanely fast and fun, and it's just in some sense, it's just a game that we were like, okay, yeah, we can make a game like that. We don't have to spend,
Yeah.
we don't have to spend 2.5 years building a game.
Well, it's got to be rewarding to be able to just knock out an idea and say, here, let's do it. Let's get some great illustrations.
It's so exhausting in some ways to make these giant games.
Yeah.
And when you can just come up with something and say, yeah, this is how it works, and everybody goes, yeah, that's how it works. Okay, let's get some art. Okay, the art's done. That's great, right?
So does that mean we'll see Sausage Party sooner rather than later?
It'll be sooner rather than later. It'll be with, when Paul and Storm are ready to help us release it.
Okay.
And like I said, it's like, people are going to look at it and they go, oh, you guys don't make that kind of game. And we don't, right? That's true. But
Maybe that's the point.
But sometimes you just have to do dumb things, and this is one of those dumb things.
Okay.
So the last thing that we're working on now is another colossal project.
Oh.
And again, this is something that hasn't been really seen on the internet yet, and it's in pieces.
Okay.
It's called Thornwatch. So I'm sure some of your viewers have seen the fact that we are in the same building as Penny Arcade.
Yes.
And we've been great friends. Our companies grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
We helped build each other's companies in a lot of ways. And so they came up with this idea called Thornwatch, which was a game about a forested world where it's incredibly dangerous, and a whole bunch of essentially Boy Scouts called the Lookouts go out and save us from all these crazy monsters and terrible things.
The Lookouts are sort of a side project that shows up in the Penny Arcade comics series.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the Thornwatch are these sort of ghostly superhero A-team style spirits that show up and solve all the really big problems.
Okay.
There's also another force in there called the Daughters, who are sort of forest witches, druids, that sort of try to keep the forest going the right way and not spinning out of control. So
what sort of game are you building around that?
3 of them.
Oh, boy.
So basically we decided that we're going to make this massive interlocking project. It's called the Ironwood Adventures. And basically it is, I can only show you pieces of it.
Okay, yeah,
as I
pieces
said.
are good.
But basically, it's a game where you build an environment on which you want to play.
Oh my.
There's this sense. You've got adventures that are deep. The characters are built so that it's like a comic strip.
Oh, yeah.
So
you're sort of building a
actually-
comic panel here.
You're actually jumping from panel to panel in a comic strip, and there's little traps along the way that might is this a narrative balloon? Essentially, the basically says,
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
okay.
So it's a totally different view of a game. All these games we make are these big top-down, we're gonna stand on top of the world, right? And we're gonna look down Stanley Kubrick style on this. And we just
Okay.
went, no, wait. Can you write a more intimate game where you actually want to, like, hey, I'll help you out. Right? And all of a sudden, this panel has changed.
Yeah.
Right? And so this is a very large project. It'll be, it's not coming out anytime soon.
This is just what you're working on
Yeah.
when you have some time to
Right.
work on.
It is, however, we're going to PAX East with another version of this. The design team is stellar. It's got Rodney Thompson, who did Lords of Waterdeep. It's got Chad Brown, who's the lead developer of the Pathfinder game.
Yeah.
And it's got, me and the Penny Arcade guys. And I don't know when I'm going to be able to show you, like, a real version of this thing.
Yeah.
But it's real good. And I think that, a lot of people will look at it and say, oh, those are those comic strip guys.
Yeah.
How could they be serious? Well, I think we're taking this
Okay.
really seriously.
Well, you have a lot of balls in the air right now.
We do. We're hoping that this is like a very long-term strategy for our company.
Okay.
And all it takes is the fans to come along and say, we like what you've done for other companies. We'd like to support you in the new stuff that you do, and I think we'll keep doing it for a long time.
Excellent, Mike. Thank you very much. Get to work. You got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm going to take the rest of the week off.
Okay.
Is there anything going on?
No,
here?
nothing else.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Have a
Thanks
good
lot.
All
Good?
This looks
You're
fun.
off, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to play it with you. It's definitely playable.
I'm gonna bring the mic over.
Are you willing to take a couple questions?
Oh, we're gonna give the questions to them.
Mike, see if Mike wants to take some questions while he's backing up.
I'm
yeah.
willing to do whatever you guys want me to do.
So it looks like some chatting folks from the internet.
Sorry, is this is not just you and me? There's an internet?
There's an
involved?
internet out there.
Oh my God,
And
I'm
they-
scared.
Okay, so we're taking the questions for Mike, actually.
Okay, cool.
What's up, internet?
Hi, internet. That wasn't a very good question.
That's an excellent question and one that we've been thinking about for some time.
We're waiting for internet questions.
We think, as long as the ferrets are willing to stay in one
The
place.
funny thing is, they didn't fit in the box the long way, but
Right.
once
you fold them.
I folded them, yeah, they went right in.
Yeah.
They seem.
Games.
Oh.
Are you gonna do audio puzzles as well?
Yes, we have a suite of those coming up. There's an audio book for the Maze of Games, which is narrated by my friend Will Wheaton, and there's a set of audio puzzles that we're sort of in process on. It turns out it's a lot of work to make audio puzzles, but yeah, some of the ones that have been coming in are great, and I think people are really going to love them.
What's your favorite puzzle from the Innistrad escape rooms?
Oh, they were crazy.
We should probably repeat the
Sure.
question. What's your favorite puzzle from the?
The Shadow of
Yeah.
Innistrad escape rooms. There was so much good stuff. We hacked a sort of Frankenstein's monster into a bunch of pieces, and you had to identify, which body parts came from the monster and which ones came from ordinary villagers.
Oh my goodness.
We did a tooth identification puzzle. Which one's the werewolf teeth? We did one of the coolest things is one of the rooms actually was entirely in darkness, and you had to take blacklight lanterns around to expose what was on the wall, but you were completely in the dark the
Wow.
whole time. I mean, it was just a crazy experience, and I think that people weren't expecting this, and they came out of it going, whatever this escape room thing is, we want to do it again.
Yeah.
And so now we're like, are we going to do an escape room everywhere we go?
Yeah.
But it was great. It was a cool collaboration between Lone Shark, Wizards of the Coast, and Pinnacle Events, who made the Pinnacle Exhibits, who made the biggest props that we've ever had. It was fantastic.
So the Mummy Pathfinder adventure game, is it gonna be a whole new adventure with its own core set as well?
Yeah, the Mummy's Mask is a brand new core set. It's got the standard adventure path of 6 adventures. It takes place in Osirian, which is this Egypt-style world. In fact, some of the gods are actually named after the Egyptian gods. And the general concept is that there is a city that has found a necropolis and is essentially renting it out to adventurers. Right? Like, you can just go and explore, but you have to follow the rules. If you break too much stuff, they get really mad at you.
Okay.
And so, but that, of course, like Westworld and all that, that eventually doesn't go well, right? Eventually, if you try to make the monsters into your amusement park,
Yeah, it's never good.
it's never. Yeah.
No one ever pays any attention to the movies.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Jurassic Park taught us something.
Well, thanks, Mike. There,
Any more questions?
no more questions.
Okay,
for
cool.
now, because we got to set up for the next public.
I think that's great, Mike. Thank
So-
you very much.
Sure, Eric. Always a
We're
pleasure.
gonna- we're gonna-
Thank you guys.
Talk with you guys for a sec.
Let me get this stuff out of here.
Let's push this camera around. Here's Sam. I'll zoom out.
I'm gonna just
And
talk to the internet.
we've got the mic here, and we'll continue talking with you. Well, Sam will talk to you right now while we set up for the next publisher.
He will?
Yes.
He's online. The man is typing to you. That's right.
Nicer to
Typing
talk.
to the
You're all
world.
right.
Oh. Hello, everybody. Yeah, you're on camera right now. Get over here. Who do we have coming in next?
Let's catch up later in the
We're
show.
gonna put up action phase games.
We are kind of stealing your free time. We were not on the schedule. Oh, excellent. So we appreciate the
Yeah, action
10 minutes
phase
that you
games.
carve out for us.
And his name is Nick Little.
Actually set them over here. Oh, are you gonna have Mike?
No, I was just gonna sit here. I was gonna sit here so we could chit chat about.
I don't know.
We could take questions. And no one taking questions for us. No, the polo shirts are like Dice Tower staff shirts that we wear at the conventions. So these are like our personal staff shirts that we wear at the conventions. It's not gonna be something that's for sale. The t-shirts are for sale if you still want. I think the exclusive colors, the black, the white, and the gray are gone, and only the blue one's available again. I'm not sure. You have to look at the website. But we have Board Game Breakfast, Board Game Blender, and other t-shirts still for sale. So if you want t-shirts, there's plenty of them. Go to dicetower.com and you'll find the whole selection of t-shirts that are available for all of the fans.
Suzanne is the bouncer, huh?
Do you guys have any other questions for us before we do the next one?
We'd be at CMON Expo. Yes.
Tom's going for sure. I'm not sure who else is going besides Tom to CMON Expo. Who else is going to be going?
I think it's me and you.
Z and Sam are also going to it. So I think we're set. We're set for the next interview, or no, we're not set yet. Eric's still working. So we'll keep fielding little questions if you guys want to give us a few things.
1 more minute.
So we have about 1 more minute. Just, shoot one more question and we'll answer it. There is no schedule posted because we have a schedule, but in case people don't show up for whatever reason, if they get tied up in meetings, we don't want to announce a schedule because let's say a publisher can't show up because they're in a meeting and then they don't show up when you're expecting them. We don't want to actually announce the schedule. So I'm going to turn it around because Eric's ready. Give me 1 second. Wait, let me move the mic back.
Sam is giving us a, please wait 1 moment.
We're moving the mic back to the middle. I'm going to tilt the camera back around and we'll be good to go.
You good to go with me?
You all set? Let's do it. Hello and welcome back to our coverage of the GAMA Trade Show 2016. I'm Eric Summerer here with Nick Little from Action Phase Games. Hello, Nick.
Hello.
What do we have coming up from Action Phase?
We have a lot of games. As you can see, there's a big pile of them
It's a
here.
whole parade that we've got set up.
So yeah, we just had these 2 games delivered to our Kickstarter backers, and they were in retail shelves last month. This one's called Scoundrel Society. It's a simultaneous action selection game where you play a 1920s, 1930s con man, and you're trying to steal a bunch of loot from the mark.
Okay.
it has this neat mechanic where all the things that you steal have a suspicion value, and at the end of the games, the cop shows up, and whoever has the most suspicion is eliminated. So you want to steal not the most stuff, but like the second most stuff, basically. So it's kind of a second place wins sort of game. This one's called Ninja Camp. In this game, you play an animal that wants to learn how to become a ninja, but you're not like a ferocious animal like a lion or a tiger. You're going to play like a sloth or a hamster or a camel.
Okay.
That's why you got to go to Ninja Camp.
You would.
Right. This is sort of like a Hey, That's My Fish type of game where it's all about tactics and positioning.
Okay.
But unlike in Hey, That's My Fish, the cards that you pick up, they're not only points, but they tell you how you can move. So again, it's another level of tactics. Tom did a review on this, so if you want more information on it, you can check out. It's a great review. We have Kodama next. This one is going to deliver to Kickstarter backers next month or later this month. That's going to be a month early for us. In this game, you play a person who is building this tree as a home for these tree spirits, these little kodamas.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool game where you start out the game with a tarot-sized trunk card that has branches coming off the edge of it.
Okay.
And then on your turn, you're going to draft a branch card, and you're going to place it on your tree. But it's not like an orthogonal grid. You build this like organic-looking, pretty tree.
I see it on the back of the box here. Let's see if we can. Our overhead camera can get it. But you're branching it all out.
Right. Yeah. So at the end of the game,
like
you're
a
going to
tree.
have this really pretty tree. At the end of the beginning of the game, you're going to be dealt 4 of these Kodama cards, and they're like goal cards. They'll tell you how you score in certain ways. So they'll want you to collect different icons or different arrangement of cards. And after every 4 rounds, you're going to play one of your Kodama cards. So at the end of the game, you'll have played 3 Kodama cards at different intervals. So it's all about planning to figure out when you're going to play which card, which card you're just not going to play, and so on. But every time you play a branch, you're going to score based on the icons that match going down your tree.
All right.
So some short-term and long-term planning. We just had this one finish up on Kickstarter. It's called Dreamwell. So this game is beautiful illustration by Tara McPherson.
Okay.
And it's kind of an abstract game where there's like a 4x4 tile grid, and you're trying to get your 2 pawns to line up so that you can play a card, because the cards all have 3 requirements. So you have to get your 2 pawns to meet the 3 requirements.
Okay.
And when you play a card, you get an action from it, like a bonus, and it's worth a certain amount of points. So the key to this game is chaining off your cards in a way where your actions are helping you play the next one and score the most amount of points.
Now I noticed that you have your first 3 releases are in a certain size box. Is this going to be in that series as well, or is it a new
No,
series?
it's not. Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because as you can see, I don't know if you guys can. So we have a small box, big fun line of games that we've released this year, basically. Like I said, these 2 are out. This one's coming out. This one's called Retreat to Darkmoor. This one is up on Kickstarter right now. All of these in retail you'll be able to get for $20, so it's a great price point especially for the amount of game that you're getting. This one, all of them have versions that you can get on Kickstarter or through our website that are like a deluxe version, extra wood bits, or like an expansion pack to it.
Yeah.
The one that we have on right now is the Retreat to Darkmoor. That one, the premise of this game is you play a bunch of Dark Lords who have ascended upon the castle to try and take over the castle, but you didn't realize there was like a special union meeting of all the legendary heroes in the land. So they come out, and you've decided to retreat to all the dark lands, the swamps, and the murky spots, you know. So it's a game sort of like Guillotine, where you're lining up cards, and
I want to be the farthest away from the cavalcade of superheroes.
Yeah, you're making a line basically at these different locations, and once a line is perilous enough, the hero will come out and kill the last guy in the line, and all the rest of the guys will get to escape.
Okay.
And all the cards have cool abilities that when you trigger them, they'll manipulate the line, or they'll pull somebody over, or whatever. But the game is very easy to learn, very fun to play, and the complexity is in maximizing the abilities and the way that you play your cards. So that's Retreat. Like I said, this is up now, and you can get it for $19 from us, or with the expansion, you can get it for $24 on Kickstarter. So the last one, we haven't really talked much about this game yet. So this is sort of a release. So this is, we're big news. So this is Aeon's End. So this is the game that we're going to be launching on Kickstarter in a little under a month. It'll be April 5th. This is a co-op fantasy deck builder. Where you play a group of people that each person will play a breach mage. So the premise behind it is that at some point, it's kind of set in a fantasy realm where, you know, everyone's kind of living in these sort of medieval times, and there's magic. And at some point, these breaches started opening, and these giant monsters started coming out and killing everyone and ruining the cities. And you're descendants of these ancestors that found a cave city that was abandoned, and you inhabited the city, and you kind of closed off the cave so that nobody could figure out that you were there. So after generations of living there, you've learned to harness the energy, the latent energies that the monsters have left around the world. And you've started opening the breaches to these worlds and learning these spells from them. So everyone is going to be playing a different mage who has the ability to use and cast different spells. And because you guys have started tinkering or tampering with this energy, the monsters have figured out where you are, that there's people remaining in the world. So they start to attack the city, and each game that you play, there's going to be a nemesis that has a deck, and on their turn you'll draw a card and you'll resolve it, and on your turn you'll get to play cards. It's Dominion style, so there are different supply piles. You'll know what you're able to buy. It has a variable economy, so it's not like Dominion where you just get silver or gold. You'll pick 3 gems that you're going to put out, and they'll do different things. A couple of the cool, neat mechanics to it. It uses a variable turn order, so there's a turn order deck. So you shuffle up, you flip over, and whoever's number comes up or the nemesis comes up, that's who will get to take the turn, and then you keep going until the deck is done, and you'll shuffle up and run it back. The spells have this interesting mechanic where you don't just play them and immediately deal the damage. You have to prep them, almost like old school Dungeons and Dragons style, where it will take an amount of time to cast it. So you'll play a spell to a breach, and then on your next turn, you can fire it off.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the breaches, you start with one of them is open, and most of them are some sort of locked, so you have to pay mana to kind of unlock them or focus them for the turn so that you can use them.
All right.
And each mage has a special ability that you can pay mana into over the course of time to use a big effect.
All right.
All of the thing that's kind of lost on the people that play the game like once or twice, which we've a bunch of playtesters that have played it and loved it, is that there are going to be 4 different enemies starting in the game, and then we have stretch goal plans for some more, and each one plays completely differently.
Okay.
So you could play the game, and it would be a completely different experience. Like one time, maybe the guy is eating the cards from the market, and if the market's gone, you're going to lose. And another time, he's putting these trap cards in your deck that'll benefit you, but also hurt you. So,
You said April?
Yes.
For,
April
for this
5th,
going
this
in
will come out.
Kickstarter.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent, Nick. Thank you.
Thank
From
you.
Action Phase Games, thanks for watching.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent, thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, are we gonna do the thing where he comes over here for QA?
You want me to do it for while you're setting up the next person? Or no?
If not, we'll just
I would do it, yeah.
Yep.
I'll just have you answer a couple of questions.
Sure. Yeah, I don't want to, take up any more of your time.
Oh, thank you.
guys are
We
nice
have
enough
our-
to carve it out for me.
team here, right?
Bring everything this way around.
Okay, we're bringing the mic back over here. We're gonna zoom out again.
Do you want to go that way, or do you want to go the other way? There's more cords over here, so.
So sit right there. Let me just tilt this around so we can see ourselves. And
Turning things around.
we are ready for question and answers for you guys again while Eric sets up for the next interview.
Same mic, I assume, or?
No, we have this one right
Oh, we
here.
actually
That's
should
just for
take
the,
that.
That's what I thought.
Which
yeah,
looks
that's just for
like
the recorded.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Fireside Games is gonna be our next interview. But shoot some questions here.
I'm excited.
Any word on the next Heroes Wanted expansion?
We've started working on it. We have a lot of the art done, and we have concepting for it. And we've played it a couple of times, but it's something that we are definitely planning on doing, but we don't have a release date for it yet.
What about expansions for Ninja Camp?
The designer, Adam Dalton of Ninja Camp, is already working on an expansion for it. I haven't played it yet because he's not ready to show it to us, but it is something that he has been working on. He's very excited about. So, and I'm excited to see it when he's ready.
Okay, any other questions from the internet? Any other questions? We're waiting for questions. If you have any Action Phase questions, here's your chance.
Sun was.
Yeah, we just did that one.
So that can go.
Okay, really, Trevor, really? Isn't that the same one?
Yeah, we're already past that.
Yeah.
I've been doing one.
Oh, wait, there was one. Expansions for Scoundrel Society or Ninja Camp.
I don't know that we have a plan for Scoundrel Society expansion yet. We're kind of waiting to see how well it does in the market. It's definitely something we'd be interested in doing. Travis and I both love that game a lot. So, but we have a lot of projects going now. But if it's something where there's a demand for it, we would definitely take a shot at doing it.
Let's see. Star Trek Panic?
That's not me.
That's
Oh,
not them.
That's them. My bad.
That's Fireside,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
you guys might be seeing a box of that in a little bit.
Stop messing me up, people.
You leave Sam Healy alone.
I know, right?
He's working hard.
We just
I
answered
think-
that one.
I think we're pretty much done with questions.
That's good. What's your favorite game?
Oh, there we go.
My favorite game right now is Time's Up. I love playing this game.
game.
Eon's End Kickstarter, when's the date of it?
April 5th.
April
We'll be
5th.
launching April 5th.
Let's see. Where now? Okay.
I don't know the answer to the sound problem.
Yeah, neither do I. I didn't know that there is a sound.
No, this mic's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's fine.
No, I think there might be a game do you most want in your line?
What game do I most want in my line? Like an existing game?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's lots of games that we really love, like Emmet and Zolfin and stuff like that would be great for us to be able to publish that, but
Otherwise, I'm not about that one. What's the next SBBF?
we
Format
have a couple of games that we're planning on doing at the end of the year, launching at the end of the year, that we don't know if they're going to be in the line or not. We're trying to figure out if it's going to fit into that box size, that price point. But we're definitely working with Daniel Solis. We've signed him to do Trickster, and we're going to release, kind of redo some of the product he has for Trickster and combine it into one box. And we might put that in the small box line, just in a slightly bigger box, but have it the same sort of format, and probably near the same price point, but probably not $20.
Okay, well, it looks like they're
What about
about
Aeon's
ready.
End?
Oh, Aeon's End price point. Last question.
We're still working on that, but I think it's going to be $50, and we'll have a little expansion that you can get. And if you get both of them, it'll be a discount.
So you guys heard that Aeon's End, they're trying at a price point of 50 for manufacturer. Anyway, that's it. We're about to go to Fireside Games. Let me turn the camera around. Let me put the mic back, and we'll be ready to go.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
All right, camera ready? Microphone delivery. Z, you ready?
I am ready
Overhead
now.
camera's good? Okay. Hi, and welcome back to our coverage of the GAMA Trade Show 2016. I'm Eric Summerer, here with Justin DeWitt from Fireside Games. Justin, we're also here with a cavalcade of cute little cats.
Yes.
Which brings us to your most upcoming release, the
Yes.
brand new one, which is Here Kitty Kitty. Tell us about it.
Well, deep inside all of us lurks a crazy cat lady who wants
Good.
all the kitties, and that's exactly what this game is about. Players are going to take on the role of being a crazy cat lady, and you have a property board to which you want to move all the kitties to. The game comes with 40 cat minis, a few of which are shown here, the rest are down there. There's 4 different colors and 3 different poses, and you want the cats on your property. Your boards score a little differently based on where you get your cats to. If they're out in the yard, they're not worth anything. The porch is worth more. The house is where you really want them. That'll get you more.
Of course.
You can do that by simply using your action points. You get 2 on your turn. You can simply move a cat if you want. If you want, move the cat 2 spaces, or play some cards. And the card play is really where it starts to come into, I could maybe move 2 cats instead of 1. I could steal a cat from you. I could make everyone shove a cat out and back into the neighborhood so I can get them later.
Okay.
There's also instant cards that when they're played, you don't play them, the game plays them on you, and everyone has to do whatever it says, usually pushing cats away from scoring areas. Unless you have the blue defensive cards, which let you stop that from happening and stop other people from stealing your cats. So
Okay.
there's also some interesting scoring at the end in terms of, yes, you get points based on where the cats are, but you also get based on different combinations. Like, do you have one of every cat of every color? Congratulations, 5-point bonus.
Yeah.
Do you have the most of one color? You get another bonus. Do I have all the cats in my house the same color? 10-point bonus. So there's a lot of manipulation of where you move cats, where you make your opponents move cats, and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, though, it really is, you want all the kitties. That is how you win the game. So,
Okay, so how soon can I get all of these
all
kitties
of these
from my very
kitties.
own?
It is going to be out April 1st. Not a joke. It really is coming out
Okay.
April 1st. And we're going to be doing a bunch of like launch releases and stuff. So look for that. There'll be all sorts of fun things. And it is a 3 to 6 player game, and it plays in 30 minutes at the most. This is a fast one. This is very easy to get people into, and this strategy in there is a little bit surprising. We have a lot of people telling us, "Wow, that I can be a little more meaner than I thought in an adorable cat game." So
Okay.
always good to have, you know.
So after Here Kitty Kitty, we've
Right.
got Dastardly Dirigible.
Yes, we
which is actually
do.
difficult to say.
It is. That's kind of why we liked it. It's
Dastardly
And
dirigibles.
dirigibles is one of those underused words. So is dastardly, honestly. So
Right.
yeah.
Everyone just goes for blimp.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
really.
How boring
At
is
least
that?
make the effort. Dirigibles. So,
Yes.
so how are we flying these dirigibles?
Well, you're building them is what you're doing.
Okay.
This is a steampunk airship building game. So what it is it comes with tarot-sized cards that have beautiful steampunk artwork on them of different ships. I'll show you the back. You can get a little bit of a look. There are different airships, and they are different suits. They're aesthetically different. There's 9 different airships, and what happens is we've sliced them very much like a slot machine reel, to where they are cut into 7 pieces. You get your nose cone, your tail, 2 lift engines, a drive engine, gondola front, gondola rear. Everyone gets a map, and you're all engineers trying to build the best steampunk airship you can. So on your turn, you're playing cards, including some special cards that are going to let you do things like steal parts from other players, maybe trade with what's on their airship and what's on yours. But the real catch is when one person plays a part to their airship, like say I play a nose cone, everyone at the table has to play a nose cone if they have it in their hand, even if they don't want to, because your score is based on the suit you use the most. So let's say I'm building the cool one that's made out of the chain suit. It's this awesome Jules Verne one. Actually, it's that one right there.
Okay.
Say I'm trying for that. You come along and play a nose cone, and I have a nose cone in my hand. I have to get rid of my good nose cone, put my bad one in, and now, unfortunately, I'm probably not going to make as many points. However, if I planned cleverly when you play your nose cone, I get a free nose cone out of it. So there's a lot of trying to figure out who's doing what on their play, because you're going to have to play the card if you have it. When the first person to finish an airship, all 7 pieces, is going to score it, and you only score the suit you use the most. So in this example down here, this guy used the chain suit to put 3 of them down. The rest are basically garbage. You get 2 points for everything that's the suit you wanted, and if you went out first, you get a bonus of 2. So this guy would actually get 8 points, and it's played in 3 rounds. The person with the highest score at the end wins. The goal is to build the most beautiful one, but at the end of the day, you just want the points. And between the special cards and the fact that when I play, everyone has to play, there's a lot of dastardly in this. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, how soon do we see Dastardly Dirigible?
That is going to be out, it looks like, in June. That is the plan on this one.
Now, the one I have been staring at ever since we started is a co-production between you and USAopoly.
Yes, this
and
is the one.
This is a variant of the Panic system. With Star Trek.
Yes, it's another variation, so this is not a reskin. Anybody who thinks that hasn't looked at it close enough. It plays totally different. It has lots of things you can't do. One of the coolest things it has is the Enterprise.
Bum, ba, bum,
It's
bum,
got
bum,
a
bum.
cool 3/4 view. So yes, this is a USAopoly game, joint production with them. We are incredibly happy to have worked with them. They were awesome partners, and CBS is really excited about this. This is coming out in June, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And lots of things are different. One of the biggest things you'll see is we've replaced the walls and towers with the hull of the Enterprise and the shields, which are like your walls. So this is all based on the original series. 50th anniversary is this year, so we are super excited to have this out. You are going to play as one of the characters. You've got cards for Sulu and Chekhov and all those guys, Kirk, Spock, each who has their own ability that breaks the rules a little bit. And one of the neat things is this base that this Enterprise is on isn't just decorative. It actually matters in the game because the Enterprise now shoots with its hit cards dependent on variations of where it's facing. You have front attacks, side attacks, and rear attacks. And on your turn, one of the things you can do is change the way the Enterprise is facing. So that hit card that wouldn't work one turn ago might work now. So you're zapping guys in the distance.
And planning ahead with your teammates. I've got one that shoots forward, so can you please turn the Enterprise?
Right. Please turn this way. Or more importantly, as things start to get damaged and destroyed, oh dear God, we don't want to be shot here. Turn the ship so we take the shot here. But sometimes that means you can't use that hit card. Life is like that. And
oh boy.
Yeah. One of the neat things too, you can now repair. In this game, instead of everything being on or off it with one hit, everything takes a damage. There's a token you'll put on when the shields are damaged. There's a token for when the hull is damaged, and you can repair it before it's destroyed.
Before it's gone.
Yeah, you can even rebuild destroyed chunks of the Enterprise. It's very expensive and tricky to do, but you can put it back together.
Now, if you take damage on the Enterprise, pieces of this now come off?
Actually, we add really cool damage pieces. We have that look fire and smoke and broken hull things.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And another key difference is bad guys are going to shoot from a distance. They'll be hitting your shields right out of the gate. They don't attack just when they hit you. They actually shoot from a distance. If they hit you, they become boarders, which is even worse for you. But you have security team that you can pay those guys down with, so they don't actually get on board.
Throw red shirts out.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what you do in the game. The other thing that's really neat is the mission-based. So instead of just, finish the bag of bad guys and you're done, you got to fight your Klingons, your Romulans, your Tholians, and all that. But when that bag is empty, it recycles because it's about the missions. Everything in this game is driven by missions, which are your goals that you're going for as a team, and they're cooperative. You are going to achieve these missions through a combination of things. It might be board position of certain elements. It may be certain cards that need to be paid. But you have to complete 5 missions before the Enterprise is destroyed in order to win the game. So it'll be like the trouble with tribbles. We have to get rid of these tribbles and all that. And some of what we'll be doing is the cards in the game now feature a division point, or division credit. And it looks like the little icon the guys wore on their shirt.
Yeah.
And there are different ones. There's the engineering one, there's the science one, all that. And you will have to pay different combinations of those towards these missions to complete it. Paying cards to a mission does not mean you use them in any other way. So you're losing what are some of the best cards in the game to beat these missions.
And then those are removed from play.
Not forever, but they are discarded. And the thing is, these aren't your low-end useless cards. These are good cards that you want that you have to pay for the mission. Meanwhile, everything else is still coming at you. You're not getting a break.
Right.
It's all getting terrible and scary.
So you said June. Does that mean we might see some copies at Origins?
Maybe. We'll have to see. I'll
Fingers
I'll talk
crossed.
to USAopoly, see what they say. Yeah. So, yeah.
Excellent. Justin DeWitt, thank you very much for
Thank you
showing us
guys
these.
for
I'm
having me.
excited about this enterprise.
I know. Don't you just want to run around the room, make
I do.
spaceship
Just want to
noises?
fly around.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, guys. I need my cats.
I'll give you cats back.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sirs.
Grab your mic while we're thinking
yes.
about it.
Questions?
They got get the herding cats into a plastic bag. And yes, there is a herding cat.
Let's bring the chair back wherever it went.
Thank you very much.
Andrew, do you want to come in too for this? We're doing a little Q&A. Andrew from USAopoly is here too. For the interviews, we're only doing, come, Chaz, grab the other seat and bring it over here. Just come right in here. We're doing a little Q&A. So we do have USAopoly here too. All of our interviews we're doing with one person, since we only have 2 of the new wireless microphones. But you get the extra, those of you with our live stream right now, you got Andrew from USAopoly as well here. So ask away questions for both Fireside and USAopoly, whatever you guys want.
Okay.
We have some time because our next guest isn't here. So as much time as they want to stay here, you guys have the floor now. Ask the questions.
Okay, is this based on a show or just a? Oh, really? What kind of question is that?
What's the question?
Is this based on a show or is it just coincidence?
No, it's a licensed game. So
the real deal.
it's officially like licensed and sanctioned through
Age
CBS
range
and
for
everything.
Here Kitty.
Age.
You would ask one of the questions.
That is for 10 and up, we're saying on that one.
10 it up. Okay, let's see. Star Trek game looks fun. Question: Star Trek Panic be translated into Italian?
That is a possibility. Yeah, I don't think at this moment there's anything, but we'll see.
Are there expansions planned for Star Trek Panic?
We've talked about it.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have to see how the game is received, and
Go buy lots of
hopefully-
it.
Yeah. Hopefully, if it's well received, we've certainly talked about things we could
Yes.
do that
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't, that we left out intentionally.
Yes, there's a lot of things we can still do on that.
Yeah.
While we're on Star Trek Panic, how many races are in the box?
There's Klingons, Romulans, Tholians are the threats.
Yeah, those are the bad guys. The Tribbles are in a mission. We ended up, I think we took the Gorn out, right? We couldn't make those guys work. Yeah.
There's an interesting question for USAopoly. Who actually designed Telestrations? Because it's uncredited on BGG.
It was a collaborative effort amongst a lot of people in the company. No one person really took the lead on it. So that's how a lot of our design works. There's a lot of collaboration amongst all of our creative team.
Price point for here, Kitty?
Oh, $24.95.
$24.95. Will Fireside be at? I think that's the West Tabletop, the West Texas Tabletop.
Oh, what's the tabletop? Maybe. I don't think we have it locked in on our plan right now, and there might be a conflict on that one. So check our social media. We try and keep our calendar updated on our website too.
What are your big board game influences?
Well, for me, oh my gosh. I mean, when I was little, I loved Stratego because it was just so cool. But growing up, I mean, wow, D&D was a big thing. Not Robotech. Well, BattleTech. Yeah. What about you? I mean, what would you say?
I mean, growing up, I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and I played a lot of Magic the Gathering. Big TCG player. Gosh, what else? I mean, all the classics, really. I mean, Settlers,
Right.
and Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride. Really just kind of consumed as much as possible to really enjoy and get a good feel for everything.
Star Trek Panic, what's the playtime on it?
Oh, that's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
90 minutes. Can we get a close-up of the Enterprise?
Has it been packed away, or is it still there?
We can bring it out of warp.
In a while.
It's still intact. It hasn't been damaged yet.
Jason.
Do you want to get some of the damaged things so they can see that too?
Jason, stop singing.
You can't not sing when you pull that thing
I
out.
know. The best part is you have to make spatial noises. Yeah, so when the Enterprise gets damaged, you stick one of these on top. You gotta match the right arc for that, but that's what it looks like.
Oh,
So it
here's the
actually
damage marker.
sticks
Yep. That's actually
on top
that's
of the-
destroyed. Actually, sorry.
Oh,
that's
look
a
at
destroyed
that.
one.
It actually goes right on top. So
Yeah,
here.
yeah. And
They
here's
line up.
the engine one works even better. Now these are for destroyed, actually. This is what amounts to losing a
that on the
tower,
engine.
essentially. When they're damaged, you just
Oh,
put...
look at this. The engine one, and it slides in and out.
Right,
Yeah.
and then this is a damage token. So when you just take one hit, you put that on the section that gets damaged. Destroyed is what's going on the camera there with the big fireball of everything.
It would actually slide on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they pin on horizontal. There you go. Yeah.
There you go. There's
Shields
some
work.
damage.
Shields work similar in that there's a shield damage token for when you've have a shield with 1 point of damage. The next hit destroys the shield.
those go on these little
Yeah,
guys.
on the plastic.
Those go on the plastic.
Right.
Are
So there you
there
go. You get to see the first close-up of this. Is that
know.
incredible?
are there any more expansions planned for Castle Panic?
Yes, I can't say much about it because it's still in late playtesting, but yes, there is another one coming. I will say this much, you're going to get ballistas and catapults, and the bad guys are going to come at you with siege engines. So-
Ah,
oh, man.
will there be
Good
a
luck.
now the question I just saw, a deluxe model of this, like a higher end model?
An
Will you,
even
will you
higher
make
end.
one?
You know what? If you guys buy enough, anything's possible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
More
That's
deluxe
nice.
than this? That would be awesome.
Okay, Robert Price, stop making dumb jokes.
Are they Star Trek jokes?
No, he says, I love Battlestar Galactica. What a cool ship.
They're sort of.
He's trying to start a flame war.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker's my favorite captain, too.
Yeah, right.
Okay, do you guys have more questions?
Yeah, anything else? Okay, whatever. Any possibility of a Wrath of Khan expansion?
Yes.
Kobayashi Maru?
Yeah, right.
Space Seed is one of the missions.
Yes.
This is all based on original series TV.
Uh-huh.
So all the missions are based on like episodes
Yes.
Cool.
from the 3 seasons of the.
That's very
original
cool.
TV series.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Space Seed is one. So
Yeah,
Khan
Khan is in
does
there.
make an appearance. And yeah, we talked about that with expansions. Do we go into the movies?
Right.
Cool. Let's see.
Trips and stuff.
Okay. If
Well,
you were a web, I'm just, if you were a web, what kind of web would you be? Ask, they'll get it, he says.
Tholian web.
Oh, thank you. I hadn't put that together, but yes.
We do have Tholians, and they do web the ship.
They do web the ship.
They prevent you from maneuvering.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah. In case you can't tell, we're kind of fans.
What's your favorite Monopoly version?
I'm gonna let you take that.
I really like. I really like our Game of Thrones edition that came out last
Ooh.
year.
That is very pretty.
Okay.
Picard or Skywalker.
Yeah.
You guys are dangerous. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yes, exactly. Dead Panic expansion, any plans for that?
We do have one we're tinkering with right now. I can't say anything for sure, but yeah, stay tuned. We have some cool ideas for that.
Next gen version?
It's a
For this?
licensing question. Yeah.
We can
Here's an
explore it,
interesting-
different ship, different missions.
USAopoly question. What's your best-selling version of the Monopoly?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Of all time, I think the best-selling version we ever put out all time was Simpsons Monopoly.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah. Of late, of the last 5 years, I believe Legend of Zelda is our best-selling one.
I would have thought the Star Wars one, but not.
We didn't do Star Wars.
Oh,
that's
you didn't do that
Hasbro.
one.
Yeah,
Oh.
They
Yeah,
took
so
that.
Hasbro does some on their own, and then some we do, because we have a partnership with Hasbro.
Yes.
Right.
But they keep some of the big ones for themselves.
This guy says, I assume all damage disappears at the start of the next game and is never ever referenced again?
Oh, of course. Yeah, exactly. And your red shirts magically reappear too.
Yes, exactly. They magically show up.
One has a mustache next time, so you can't tell.
Any chance for a fan to become a Fireside Game tester?
Quite possibly, yes. Contact us on our website, firesidegames.com. We may have use for you, yes.
Variable player powers in Star Trek Panic?
Yes, everybody. Well, variable meaning the different characters have different abilities. Yeah, Sulu gets to do different things, and Scotty helps you repair damage and stuff. Yeah.
Sulu's a maneuver, an extra maneuver.
Yes, extra maneuver.
Just because
If it's set up for one,
Yeah.
then
Kirk likes to go on
face tech
missions,
it,
so you
Mr.
get
Face tech.
bonuses for your mission cards.
Yeah.
stuff like that.
They're all very thematic.
Cool.
It's like an MMO. It's like World of Warcraft or something.
Okay,
Dungeons and
I think
Dragons.
that's
You go-
about it.
All right. Thanks, Internet.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Actually, one quick thing since I see this. Do you have any of the ships that come in, Romulan or Klingon ships, in the box? Or are they not ready yet?
Do if you have a second.
Yeah, we can show you some of these
Yeah, go
other
ahead.
ships, the Romulans, the Klingons, etc. So give us a second. We'll show you some more stuff. You're getting the extra sneak peek of this now.
It is a brand new logo to represent our brand new.
Here's some spaceships for For Star Trek Panic.
Well, wait, hang on. That's going to confuse people. You find a good one.
Take your stupid badge holder off, Patrick. Don't look like a convention noob. Badge holder
The bird of prey. There we go. That's a good one. So here's the Romulan bird of prey.
There we go.
Romulan Bird of Prey, right there, the Romulan Bird of Prey. That's what the pieces are gonna look like. That looks pretty good.
Battle cruiser.
A battle cruiser, Romulan battle cruiser,
Oh, and here's Tholian with his web.
Romulan battle cruiser.
They may not recognize that for the show.
We have
Phones. Or cores.
cores, and what else do we have? Tholian.
I still haven't seen it.
So these are the different pieces. Yes, they're all different ships.
All right, that's it, y'all.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Well, I know, but
It is conversational and it's basically a sneak preview of what you've got coming up.
Okay, since Crash Games is taking a long time to set up, Patrick,
Jeez, Patrick, come on, we're waiting here.
me and Sam will just take some generic questions for now.
We're doing Star Wars Panic. We're super excited about it.
Yeah.
Much better space Star Wars.
Sure you are, yeah.
Now this will be fun to get on camera.
What other questions do you have just for me and Sam while we're waiting? Just shoot us regular questions.
Positions or?
I don't care.
No, we're having fun here.
Just tell me what to do.
We don't have.
We're having fun here. Just we want questions. We want questions. It's your time.
Come on, get set up.
Just get set up, Patrick. 'Cause
No,
one's
you
gonna
get set up. I'm
It
telling you,
is set
get
up.
set
I'll
up.
spin it around.
Right, spin it around.
Let's watch him get set up.
Okay, that's it. I'm spinning it around since no one wants any questions.
Yeah.
Have you been chatting during?
So anyway, yeah, conversational is fun, but we're going to try to stick to about
10 minutes, 5 minutes?
10 minutes or so. You're showing off how many games?
Well, I was gonna be showing off 3,
That's fine. If we can squeeze it into 10 minutes, no
but
problem.
yeah,
again,
I don't have
anything-
a second or a third, so.
Okay. Anything you want to set up and show the camera as an overview head, we can do that right there.
Okay.
If there's anything you want to set up now, feel free. I'm just going to introduce you. I'll be like, so what's coming out from Crash Games this year? And you walk us through it. But again, it's definitely an overview of this stuff.
Sure.
We're not going to go into specific rules. We're not going to go into
No,
turn
okay.
play, you know?
Yeah,
Whetting people's appetite is what we're going for.
that's what I'm all about.
Wetting.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Good.
This is the lockdown here. Is there a simple lock? Or is
That's wrong. It's Crash Games, not Crash of Games.
It is Crash of Games.
Is that new? That's new then. You changed the logo and the name of the company?
Slight name change for URL purposes.
Huh.
Oh, is that why? Yeah. That was what, and then Crash of Rhinos, Crash of Games, like it makes sense.
Huh.
It represents kind of like something familiar, but something new. So we're now a geek chic company. That's not why I'm wearing a hat. I noticed after I shaved my head that I'm thinning really badly. So unless I want to look like a hedgehog with a bad skin condition on camera, a hat's the way to go.
Sounds good. You should try that. Go for the hedgehog look.
Go for the hedgehog look.
The messed up hedgehog look.
How are we starting this camera? Is there a remote that we're using for
There's
it?
not. You want me to do it?
I just want to know what to do.
Daniel, go over to the yellow
Over
booth,
here on this
yellow
side,
booth
and you
and
gotta
steal a
turn it
copy
on.
of Tout Loud.
On the other side of the camera?
Yeah, I see it. I know where to reach when I jump.
Well, I thought you were talking about that. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not this one up here.
It is that one, yeah. That one works as well as.
It's on the attack.
Yeah, you can start this right now, Eric. You can get that going.
Okay.
I come with my own like elevator music.
Now, do you want to talk about the geek chic thing briefly?
Yeah, so my plan of attack was really quickly, the stars of the show are the games. So really quickly talk about the Geek Chic thing, really quickly talk about Crash Games' new focus. And we've never really had a brand, and now we have a brand.
Okay.
And then jump into the games.
That's fine. So,
So,
what
like,
I'll just do a quick bit at the beginning about, here with Patrick from formerly
can say-
Crash Games,
you can
but now Crash of Games, and you can take it.
Sure.
And just
You're
say
really,
why.
Really caught on that.
Are you guys ready?
Huh? What are we talking about? He's razzing me, I believe. Yeah, you're rolling,
I am now.
and you're getting audio and everything. I'm gonna clap for audio
Check.
sync purposes.
Check.
Okay.
Looks like I got them both.
All right, here we go. GAMA Trade Show 2016, that's what it is. Yes, it is.
This is where we at.
I wanna make
SN
sure.
2017.
I want to make sure. Don't mess me up, man. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our GAMA Trade Show 2016 coverage. I am Z Garcia. I am here with Patrick from Crash of Game, formerly Crash Games. Tell me
It's Patrick of Nickel.
Patrick
Just
of
to
Nickel
clear that up.
from Crash of Games.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about that name change. What's going on there?
So the name change is actually a silly reason, but we are, for those that don't know yet, we are excited to announce we are a Geek Chic company.
Yes.
And so the Crash Games AZ URL wasn't going to work real well. And so we couldn't, Crash Games was not available to get, so mostly driven by a URL, so Crash of Games. And that's what the whole company was started as, a Crash of Rhino, as a Crash of Games. So
Right.
that makes sense. People will eventually get over the of. It's mostly Chris Leader from Roll For It that'll struggle.
Okay.
But we'll move past that.
And you have a new logo as well, which I'm seeing there on your shirt. Yeah, I think we got it.
Yeah, you got
Hope
that?
you got a close-up of that.
No?
All right, so let's take a look at some games. What have you got coming up?
Well, so that's a great thing to transition into. So we have an actual brand now. Like that's weird. Like before I was just like, oh, I want to make games that are fun. I don't want to pigeonhole myself, and that's all well and good, but it can be really confusing because then people don't know what to expect.
Okay.
So Crash of Games now, our focus is light to medium games that are very easy to get to the table, and but a very difficult audience that we're going for. We're going for a wide range of people. So I want someone that doesn't play games at all and people that play games all the time to be able to enjoy the same game, and that's not an easy task to accomplish. So we really believe in games like Fish Frenzy and games like Pirate Den and games like Backyard Builder's Treehouse, which is not here on the table. I get the PPC later today, but not in time for the interview.
Okay, that's
So,
fine.
yeah.
But we've got Fish Frenzy, which is very cute from the looks of it. I love the artwork on these cards.
This is the very, very talented Kwanchai Maria. He is a fantastic artist that I had the pleasure of working with on the kids deck for Dead Drop. And so this is designed by Brett J. Gilbert of Elysium fame, the SDJ nominated game last year. And it is a fantastic game of set collection and an auction. And so much like, Pirate Den was a great entry for people to play and kind of learn a bluffing game and a deduction game, but super approachable with meaningful decision and engaging gameplay, right? I don't want to sacrifice ease of play for it just to be auto decisions, right? I don't want people to be like, oh, this is easy, and I don't have a decision to make.
Okay.
So Pirate Den, there is meaningful decision. In Fish Frenzy, there's meaningful decisions too. So in Fish Frenzy, you are trying to collect the most of the different fish, but you got to watch out for the crabs because crabs are worth minus points. So great art, great components. This is just wrapping up manufacturing, and everything you see here is pretty much what you'll see, except the box wrap is a prototype, so everything's kind of just slightly off. I'm not quite good. Our team did a great job of getting us a show-off version ready.
Of course, yeah.
So if you're a fan of quick games that play really, really well and have actual meaningful decisions, but you don't have to spend like 45 minutes in the rule book, or a game that you could play with your grandma when she comes over after, her bridge club.
Then she can play some Fish Frenzy
or,
with you, grab
your
some
Twilight
mackerels.
Imperium fans, the whole gambit, the entire audience.
Very cool, very nice. All right, what else have you got?
So,
when is this coming out, by the way?
This will be coming out at the end of Q2, so it's just wrapping up, or going into manufacturing now. We got through all the file process, and so I'm thinking like June, July.
Okay.
And also what we don't have here to show is our Backyard Builder's Treehouse. This was a reskin of Yardmaster Express with some fantastic art from French artist Vincent Dutrot, who did Discoveries, New York 1901. So if you've seen the yellow version of Tout Le Hout.
So are you going to basically get the artwork that Yellow was able to put out in Europe, and you are putting it out yourself?
Yeah, we were
taking that
able
artwork.
to purchase the art for Tout Le Hout, and we were able to purchase the art for Aramini Circus. So we'll be launching that reskin version of Yardmaster.
Right, and
next
Yardmaster
year.
Express, which is the other one. Okay.
Different names. Bad mistake. Probably the worst mistake I've made as a publisher after Council of Verona with how I kind of bungled Yardmaster Express. But I'm gonna make that whole.
Okay.
I'm gonna redeem it.
Cool. So June, July on this, and I see over there a trick-taking game. Trick-taking game. Okay.
Well, I think it's trick taking. Eric Martin's going to give you some pushback.
I
on
often
that.
do get that when I call something a trick-taking game.
Yeah. So
I think I'm fairly well versed with trick-taking.
I think you are.
Thank you. Thank you. Get
We're
that
not
on
gonna get into
camera,
that.
right?
Yeah. We won't talk about it.
All
So
right. Tell me what we got.
This is this actual thing in my hand is Piemal Flammen from Pegasus Spiel. We will be releasing it here in North America as Plums. And so it is I love it.
I'll be able to pronounce it now.
Yeah.
though. No, it's fine.
You don't have to roll the hard F, Flammen. And you don't have to spit on yourself when you say it. The German language is a beautiful, beautiful language. Lots of vowels. Lots of consonants, actually. So this is Plums, and I'll call it a trick-taking game. But I think it's a super fantastic, very nerdy trick-taking game where you're playing cards, and whoever wins the trick gets their pick of the four, because they all have different powers on them that add into a set collection aspect. And the really neat thing is, if you're not confident, let's say, in a trick-taking game, you're like, oh, these are cruddy cards. I'm not going to be able to win this trick. There are pie cards, 3.14. Pie Day was yesterday.
That's almost meta.
It was almost so meta. We should have done this interview
I know,
and
I'm
then
sorry.
flash forwarded. But you can play that a number of those in addition to the card you play. So if I have a 10 and I play with the pie card, it's a 13.14.
Correct.
Oh, that's so fantastic. And I fell in love with the game after picking it up in Essen, and I had a lot of friends asking where they could get it. And there was a forum on BGG, and they're like, oh, we're not, we don't have any partners yet. And I'm like, So we have partnered with Pegasus Spiel to bring it over, and we're super excited. And that, I think, is on the boat on
Really?
its way
Okay.
over from Germany.
Okay,
Yeah.
very nice. So we should be seeing that one even sooner then.
Yeah, but we'll be releasing them pretty much all at the same time.
Okay.
We'll let the other stuff kind of catch up.
Got
and
it.
all
So
that.
June, July still for Plums.
June, July, yeah, because I don't know exactly the delivery date, and I don't want to commit to anything with ports and boats and customs, and that's a hairy
Perfectly
business.
understandable. Great.
Yes.
So anything else you want to talk about? Are we good here?
There are a couple things I'd like to talk about.
On camera? I got to make sure with this guy.
Should we cut the line? Yeah, I should come with a 30-second delay. No, that's pretty much it. We're really excited for and that's not an empty platitude. Our team is legitimately excited for the future. To have a focus is really awesome, and that's what having a team and
Right.
being a part of something that's bigger than yourself. Daniel is my right-hand man. I got a great boss, Peter. The creative team and the marketing and all the things that Geek Chic provides is an amazing opportunity for Crash of Games, and really to be able to grow. I think that people are going to really like what we have coming out, and I know it's going to take some time for people to be like, oh, what is this? But I think in about a year, people will be really excited about what we pick up. So.
All right. Sounds good, Patrick.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. This guy, he's a hugger. What can you do? He's a hugger. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Cool. Sweet, man. Thanks.
Welcome. Thank you.
There you go.
All right.
We can give you a minute while Ted sets up.
Hey, Ted.
Okay, we're back. We're back. Patrick may come here for a minute while Ted sets up. We have Ted Alsbach from
here.
We have Ted Alsbach next from Bezier Games. So while he sets up, Patrick's coming over.
I'm right this way. Just watch out for the cords. Oh, you're
Someone asked us about what's our most anticipated
Ruin
games.
everything.
My most anticipated game, even though I played it twice, is Star Wars Rebellion, because I can't wait to get my own copy of it. Because someone, I'm not saying who, has a copy in their house. The one copy we got so far. What's your most anticipated game, Sam?
Anticipated game?
Yeah.
One that I haven't played yet, probably Seafall. I'm really looking forward to Seafall.
Seafall.
Yeah.
Pandemic Season 2, hopefully.
Yeah, that would be cool too.
Yes.
I'm excited that means more. Okay.
I think I was literally standing at their booth when you bought that game.
If you guys put put a question or two for Patrick. I see one. We'll try to get it very quickly.
It'd be easier for me if you could put in caps before your question the word question. That'll help me.
You can set up as much
I
as
don't
you
want
want. We're gonna
props,
be,
do I?
Negative. You just have a seat. Have a seat. We're just gonna have a talk.
It's very quick. It'll be like just while Ted's setting up. We're gonna get a question in.
I'm like Ted, I'm a hobbit, and I can get through small areas.
Yes, Sam, the mics are hard.
So we're not on video? We are on this.
No, yeah, you are. You're here.
Man,
You're right here.
how am I supposed to fart?
We're live
right
streaming
into
this.
the
Oh, are we?
This is a live stream.
This
In
is
case
live.
you guys
This
want
is-
to know what's up Patrick and his
There's
flat
no
link,
setup
just
for
let
this
us
one.
know.
Why not?
Okay, here we go.
I used a family-friendly fart word.
All right.
Do I talk into this?
Yes.
Is that
not
too-
close?
okay.
Not close. Thank you. That's good. All right. So we have to first of all revisit this comparison between Fish Frenzy and TI3. Please explain that. Please do.
They're both games.
Okay. All right.
One of them ruins friendships, one of them makes friendships.
Okay.
Will
All
Fish
right.
Frenzy appear as a race in TI3?
Ooh, that would be cool, like a crab race. Like,
That
they
would
can
be
only
cool.
walk sideways, which really limits their attack abilities, because then you're going purely off a peripheral.
Okay. Is Fish Frenzy the same size box as Pirate Den?
It's the exact same
Exact
size
same
box.
size.
Yeah, so that's a continuation of that line that
Okay.
we're going for. One of the lines.
All right. Have you enjoyed our rainiest winter ever in Pac Northwest?
Yes. I lived in the desert for 7 years. I bring on the moisture.
Yes.
I prefer a moist environment.
Yeah. Every time we go to a place like this, I have to put on lotion. I never use lotion.
Does
except
Jason
when
do
I-
it? He puts the lotion on the skin or he gets the hose.
I don't need lotion. My skin is perfectly fine the way it is.
No, you put the lotion on. Never mind.
Let's see. Where can I find a review on Corruption, Council of Verona expansion?
Where do you go for reviews?
I don't know. Where do you go for reviews?
Where do we?
There's this weird,
So in
obscure
other
media
words-
source called the Dice Tower.
Patrick?
I don't know. I sent it to every
Yeah,
member of the Dice Tower.
send
Pick
it
your
to us.
staffer.
I didn't.
We will get to it.
I haven't got one. We did play Council of Verona though.
Yes.
If you like the Poison expansion, you'll love Corruption. It's just another layer of decision making. I like it because it's basically like threats. Like you can play a card face down as a bluff, and then you're going to think twice about it and do something. You took away my money.
Well,
Leave it right here. It's good.
They're complaining.
It's too loud.
No,
They're just
all of
complaining
us.
that it's bad.
It probably has something to do with my voice. I can't help my chin.
Can't hear Jason. That's
Oh,
why.
they want to think of all the different things with of now. So are you going to change your name to Fish of Frenzy?
That's the alternate box art. There's Plums of Plums, Fish of Frenzy, and Backyard of Builders
Speaking
of
of
Treehouse.
plums, I've got to play the game, the Essen version as well, and it's an amazing trick-taking game.
It's a great game that I felt it was really important to bring it over. I felt like it belonged.
Yes,
in
I
the marketplace.
enjoyed it very, very much.
Any thoughts on expansion for Pater?
No, that's a great question because Peter, while I love that game and it's a great game, that would be off-brand for us in the future.
Okay. More important to hear the guest than Jason. I agree. Well, what
That's
do you?
par for the course, though, isn't it?
Yardmaster expansions will be the last question, it looks like, because it looks like we're almost ready
Yep.
for Ted. so-
Yardmaster is going to be
bring
re-released
that right back.
next year with the very, very nice yellow art from Mathieu Lasson, who did the Aramini Circus art.
Okay.
So you're going to get the very nice artwork for Yardmaster.
Yes.
Okay. Here's your here's
Vote
your
of
exit.
punch for Sam.
Who is your favorite podcast reviewer?
Reviewer?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why
We
you got to
got
put me on the spot like that?
Hey, the
It's not
internet's
anybody
doing
with the
it.
dice. No, I'm just kidding.
You can say it. We won't review
honest.
bad reviews from now on.
Just be
Well,
honest.
see, I watch Rodney and Rahdo, and they're not really reviewers. They just show you the game. I'm my favorite reviewer.
There you go. He is his favorite reviewer. He trusts his own opinion the most.
I
Oh,
make the
actually, a
fun.
very, very interesting question. Let's get this one last one from Vince. Geek Chic and Crash of Games. It seems like a weird matchup. How did you two get together?
So that was a series of conversations. As far as it being a weird matchup, if you saw how passionate they were about the tables and the products that they make and how passionate I am, That's the connection point right there. Is a passion, a love for the geek community, this industry, and it's a match made in heaven in my mind.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Thanks, folks. And thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Sam.
Appreciate it.
Jason. Pleasure, sir.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. We'll see you soon. Okay, we're gonna go see Ted now.
Colony or just Colony? I agree with that often.
No need for that. People who say the Batman kind of irritates me always. That's one of those things too.
Yeah.
I know some people like that, but cool. It should be just Batman. There's only Batman.
He never says, I'm the Batman.
Right, exactly. Come on, seriously.
All right. We started this already?
You did.
We did.
You're good.
All right, we're facing the right way. We have our mics, getting good levels on both. I am now rolling here. Whenever you're ready.
You ready? I'm gonna clap just to get an audio visual sync. Okay. We're good?
Yep.
Let me do that again. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our GAMA Trade Show 2016 coverage. I am Z Garcia. I am here with Ted from Bezier Games, and he is going to be showing you us a game I am actually very excited about. I love this theme, Colony, which is, as you can see, all displayed out here on the table. Ted, tell us a little bit about this.
All right, so thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
So Colony, it's a building game. Love building games. It's kind of a third in our series of kind of past, present, future games of Castles of Mappy and Ludwig, Suburbia, and now we have Colony, which takes place in a post-apocalyptic future.
Yes.
The basic idea here is you're trying to rebuild society, and you're doing that by obtaining various resources, and we're using dice as resources. And it's actually the dice faces that end up being different resources. So a 4 is one type of resource, a 1 is another type of resource, and the values of them change throughout the game, but in general, higher number is a little better than a lower number.
Okay.
There's some really unique things about this game. First of all, it uses dice drafting. So what's going to happen, the first player is going to actually start with 3 dice. They're going to roll those dice, and they're going to choose which one they like and pass the other ones around. And of course, the next player keeps whatever value of those he chooses and gives the next one to the third player. When you have a whole bunch of dice in front of you from that or previous turns, you can earn them in various ways. You can then purchase different cards as buildings, and these buildings give you different powers as well as victory points. Some of them, there's a whole bunch of green cards that we have here. Those are production buildings, and those produce what we call unstable resources. There's a little gray there, and that's these versus these nice white stable resources.
Okay.
Unstable resources in a post-apocalyptic universe don't stick around too long, so you have to spend them right away. You can't store them between turns. And regular resources you can hold on to and kind of store them up and build them for something, some bigger item, big ticket item that you want to purchase in the future. Initially, you just get these unstable resources from these production things. There's other types of cards too that let you manipulate the resources, change the dice around or exchange them with other people. There's some kind of Dominion-esque type of attacks. They're not harsh, nasty, out of nowhere sort of take that things, but they allow you to slow down the leader possibly, or give yourself some additional benefit that isn't available to the other players out there. And then, of course, we have some what we call the large point value cards, which are kind of like the big buildings in Puerto Rico. Give you a lot of points towards the end of the game. Everyone's racing towards a certain number of points, depending on how many players there are. If it was just 2 of us playing, it would be 20 points.
Okay.
And the points are shown at the bottoms of these cards, little orange half circles. And so as you're collecting those cards, you're starting to get more and more points. There's a couple of really cool things about this. On every turn, you can always purchase 1 or more of these cards, depending on how you're set up. But you can also upgrade the cards. All the cards are upgradable. So in a real simple sense, these production cards here that have an unstable die, if you upgrade it, that's 2 points, and it's a stable die. So it's much better than it was before, but now you've used some of your dice to upgrade.
So every one of these cards is double-sided?
Every one is double-sided. It's got a unique other side to them that gives you something extra.
Gotcha.
So even though you're only playing with, this is 13 cards right here, they all have double sides, and you also start with 4 cards, which also can be upgraded. In fact, it's kind of fun. Your upgrade card, which gives you the ability to upgrade once per turn, you pay 1, 2, 3, 4 of resources to do that. You can upgrade that, and now you only have to pay 2, 3, 4.
So you can upgrade your upgrading ability.
Exactly.
Wow.
If you're really going to be doing a lot of upgrading, that's the thing to do. You've got a warehouse that lets you store resources between turns. You can upgrade that and store more. Your construction card lets you build something. If you don't build something that turn because you don't have enough dice or you're storing up, you get a little token here we call these chippies for cybernetic holder of instant production improvements. You'll remember that, I'm sure.
Yeah,
You get one of these, and this is going to give you a free resource on the next turn.
Okay.
Upgrade your construction, you can build more than one thing, or you get 2 of those little chippies.
If you don't build, okay, right.
So everything upgrades, abilities, points, all those things change. And it's turn-based. And there's lots of all sorts of interesting interactions between players. And it takes about 45 minutes to an hour.
Really? Okay. Now, as far as a time frame here, when are we looking at this coming out? Coming out at Essen?
Yes.
Okay, which is
October.
October later this year. Excellent.
And so, also, what you're seeing here, you're seeing 7 cards. These 7 cards at the top here are what we call variable cards. You can put any 7 you want to.
Okay.
These are kind of the standard that come with it, and then these are the player cards, these 4 down here. Each player is going to have a set of those. But it actually comes with a whole bunch of other ones. These are more variable cards that it comes with, a total of 28. So you're going to have total amount of replayability and variability with the game because you can just swap in 1 or 2 different cards each time or put in a whole new set.
And I assume changing these, for example, this red one here, I assume red means it's going to be a confrontational card.
Right, yes, exactly.
So I guess you could make it a confrontation-heavy game if you wanted to, something like that.
And in fact, there's defense cards, and what we do a lot of times, I'll play 2-player with my wife, and for whatever reason, she likes putting in the offensive attack cards and taking out the defense cards.
There you go.
So there is no way to stop those sorts of things, and so it's always kind of the back and forth on that, which is fun.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. So I, for one, am very much looking forward to this. Anything else you want to tell us about?
I don't think so. You'll be able to play it at all the different shows throughout the year up until Essen. We're going to have demos there at Gen Con and KublaCon, and just every show we'll have somebody there showing this stuff off. So.
Great. Ted, thank you so much. Good talking to you.
All right.
And thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you.
All right.
Cool.
Suzanne.
Just take your iPad.
I was gonna
Suzanne,
say, I probably should,
Suzanne, bring it over here.
tell you to give that back. She grabbed
Suzanne, bring that over here for a sec.
Oh, cool.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Bring it over here, because we are now going to talk about it in the live stream. No, bring it over here. We need it for the live stream.
Mine! My precious.
Come on, Gollum. It's mine.
Ted's not even over there yet. I have a few more turns.
I want to show it to everyone before Ted gets here. You could show it. Come and show it. Come be part of this and show it off. Okay, Suzanne's coming with Castle of Mad King Ludwig.
Okay, I stole Ted Alspach's iPad, and so here you can see the app in its beta form. I've been tweeting some photos of it, but I gotta say it works amazingly well. So there's that great zoom action, so you can see the detail of the tiles if you need it, but you can also get the display. I can check my favors by tapping on the favors, and it'll show what the favors for the game are over here. And it's real easy to get those. If I need to see what my cards are, my bonus cards pop right up. I think this UI is super smart. You can see the action on everything is really great. Right now you can see it says I'm the master builder down here. So I feel like my fellow Dice Tower compatriots are mocking me over there.
No, you're
Not about
Laughing
that.
at you, we're laughing near you.
She's doing a live stream app
Yeah, hey guys.
app segment. So.
Yes, this is
then-
as good as it gets. Suzanne telling us what's going on.
I
Yeah,
get,
it's good. I like it.
no respect, man.
No, we love what you do.
Oh, shut up, Jim's like. So I get to set the pricing by dragging the tiles here. So as you can tell, it's really convenient. You see, you just slide the tiles over to however you want to set the pricing, and they switch over. So that's really easy to set the master builder pricing. When I'm done, I just click X, and then it goes over, and then the AI is taking next turn. And you see when you complete a room, you get these little displays.
So you have our overhead.
The AI is doing all of its things.
There's no
All right, now it's my turn. I will take a dungeon room because I am in the dungeon, and why not? So let's say I want to flip that around, right? There's a quick
Ted,
little
come on
rotate.
over. We got a lot of
I
questions
can't
for you,
place it
bro.
that way, so there's no shadow. Can't place
Ted.
it that way. But you can see there's a little shadow that appears that
Ted.
helps you understand what your placement options are as you rotate it. So I'll go ahead and do that and place my tile. Plays beautifully. I'm pretty excited. I'm wondering if I can sneak it away from Ted and he won't notice I stole his iPad. But
No, because I think we're going to grab it and give it to
all
Ted right now.
all right.
So Ted, is this app out yet, or is this app coming out?
It'll be coming out. It's still it's going through the death throes of final development. You know,
Well, I
which-
think you just got like 5 thumbs up from Suzanne. I
She's
mean,
very, very excited. Yeah, I'm glad she gave it back to me. I was a little concerned that I might have chased her down the hall when I've had.
The game that you were showing on the video,
Yes.
how does it compare in weight to Mad King?
I think most people would say it's pretty much exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
I think most people would say, I mean, you know, everyone judges things differently, but
Correct.
I would say it's about as easy. I mean, you heard pretty much all the rules there.
Okay.
In 5 minutes, and there's a lot of variability in the cards. That's about it.
Last campaign of One Night Ultimate Vampire had unblocked characters. Will they see light someday?
For you. You want to wait to be surprised?
I don't know what
Maybe blocked
Oh,
characters looking
oh,
at
they were
unlocked?
thinking there were going to be more stretch goals,
Yeah.
probably.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, I mean, there's going to be more one-night games. I mean, it's going to be silly for me to not do any more of those. That would be ridiculous. So,
Good answer,
yeah.
good answer.
Yeah.
Let's see. Any expansions that work for castles, suburbia, or subdivision?
Castles of Suburbia, there's things that are floating around, nothing formed yet, but probably be something in the future on those. But yeah, nothing worth talking about yet.
Okay. Is it going to be a trilogy of building games, or are you doing more in the future?
That's just for who's bearing?
Well, right now it's a trilogy. If it's a quadrilogy, either way, it's hard to say. So let's just say trilogy for now.
Trilogy for now. Okay.
So there's other building games that I've worked on that are in various stages of development. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with this whole past, present, future thing because they all work together and they have a similar feel to them. I think when people play them.
yeah. Mad King Ludwig, the app, is it going to be? Are you going to pass and play multiplayer online, AI, everything? What are you
It's got
putting in?
pass and play and AI. We're definitely working on the AI right now. It's not going to have online multiplayer at this point. That might come in the future, but for the initial release, it won't have that. It's going to have a campaign though. That's the one thing that's probably taking a little longer, is we want it to be just an epic campaign.
Just the front back.
Will there ever be a crossover expansion between Suburbia and Mad King Ludwig?
That would be the towns of Mad King Ludwig,
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. I really hadn't thought about that. So maybe, sure. I don't know.
Right. Okay. Let's see.
That's interesting.
Why no sci-fi city building games?
Well, Colonies, kind of post-apocalyptic, is kind of sci-fi. I mean, there's a transmogrifier in there, so can't get much more sci-fi than that.
Okay. Let's see. Great looking app. Will it be available for Amazon Fire?
Yes, definitely.
Do you remember your first game of Werewolf/Mafia?
Not my first one. I remember one of the early ones that I played, and it was pretty epic. I was Cupid tagged me and a werewolf as lovers, and I was sitting next to the seer, who's a good friend of mine, and so she checked me out, of course, and made sure that I was okay and we're convincing. And not too long, I figured out that my buddy over there was a werewolf, and yeah, we took the whole town down, and it was awesome. And that friend didn't speak to me for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Cool. It was pretty sweet.
Well, before you go, Eric, you have to come over here. Eric, come over here for 1 sec. Give us the voice for the app. Do you guys have the app for one night? Here's the voice of it.
I don't know. What do you?
Everyone, close your eyes. I'm done.
No, don't leave them like that.
They're all asleep now.
Now everyone at home has closed their eyes and they're not going to wake
They
up.
don't know what to do.
But we
Isn't
do
that
have
the
more
best stuff?
interviews to
Oh,
do.
man.
What board game of yours is getting the most play currently?
The most play from me?
Yeah.
I guess is the question. Well, that would definitely be Colony right now, just because we're kind of doing the fine tuning and testing. I mean, we're playing dozens of games a week. We have tons of play testers playing, and it's kind of all encompassing at this point.
Okay. Cool. Favorite game by another company?
Probably Terra Mystica.
Terra Mystica.
Yeah, I love Terra Mystica.
Okay.
Can't play it enough.
Let's see here.
Terra Mystica is great. That's one of my favorites too. Love it.
Yeah, Terra Mystica, I think overall. There's Essen stuff that came out, like Food Chain Magnet, that I love, but still Terra Mystica is probably
Okay.
So I think we're done with Ted.
Yeah, I think we are.
And we're ready for our next interview. Let's let me go set up again, and we'll be with our next guest.
And just making sure the kind of each side works well.
Just some graphic design stuff too, but I think that's it. Just to make the symbols kind of clearer for people.
Oh, good. That's always,
Yeah,
you can never go over that too many times.
Yeah, yeah.
but like all the locations are the same.
Yeah, actually, I should bring out some delivery cards too.
Just push the red button.
Or the one on top is easier to get to.
Right here?
Yeah.
And also the overhead camera.
Yeah, you can get the overhead one going right now.
All right, look out. That silver.
You might want to test your zooming. It's iffy. It's not as smooth as I'd want it to be.
What do you mean by zooming?
Bringing what's on the screen closer or farther. I mean,
I don't know what you guys have been doing as far as that's concerned. That's a key.
you can go tighter on the game on the table, or if Brian's talking, you can go tighter on Brian for a little bit and cut me out. It's whatever you want, but you know, we want a fluid image instead of a static one for the entirety of the interview.
Have you been, when you were doing the camera, were you panning at all or anything?
Yeah, a little bit, sure.
Okay, I think we're set.
Okay, are we good?
Yeah. You're both in.
Got our mics. I'm gonna clap at the beginning for an audio sync.
Cool.
All right, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to the GAMA Trade Show 2016. I am Z Garcia. I am here with Brian from Overworld Games. And how you doing, Brian?
Good.
Good to have you. And you are going to be showing us Booze Barons.
Yes. So this is our GAMA Trade Show release.
Okay.
We've got a few other titles coming out in 2016, but we're doing another social game. So if you don't know Overworld Games, we're best known for Good Cop, Bad Cop. So that one, I know the Dice Tower, especially Tom Bessel, like that one quite a bit.
Yes, we do.
Up for Party Game of the Year in 2014, and then nominated for Golden Geek Award. So it was awesome. And I think the Dice Tower kind of helped that kind of bring it to people's attention too, because that was our first big game. So. And then we did New Salem too. So that one came out at GAMA last year, and those are hidden identity kind of social games, a lot of deduction, and so we're doing this again with Booze Barons, completely different take on it though too. And this one is designed by Jeremy Commander, so it's the first game we're publishing that isn't designed by Clayton and I. Clayton's my business partner at Overworld Games. And so, yeah, Booze Barons is it's a team-based game, so it's 3 to 9 players. So it's yeah, that's a pretty big spread. It works really well with large groups. Up to 9 players. There aren't that many games that will support that many, and it works well with odd numbers of players too. But basically, you're bootlegging, so you're in U.S. Prohibition times in the 20s. So you're delivering your bootleg booze. It could be beer, wine, or liquor. You secretly are bootlegging one type of it, and then you're delivering it to speakeasies. And so you are trying to figure out who is on your team and who's not. You don't know. There's 3 teams, so that's also unique. Usually it's you're on your own team or it's 2 teams, but this is 3 teams. So you're figuring out maybe if you're on the beer team, who else is on the beer team with you. And then you're watching people's deliveries, so you have to stay engaged in the game the whole time because you have to figure out who is on your team based on the deliveries they make. So you're always watching. So it's a new way to keep people engaged in the game the whole time. Nobody's on your cell phone. Well, if you are, it's going to hurt your chances to win in the game.
So tell me a little bit about all how the main mechanisms of the game work.
Yeah, so you secretly have one of these. So let's say, you can be the punching bag porter on the beer team. I'm on the wine team. I'm Shakedown Champagne.
And we wouldn't know this, obviously.
We wouldn't, yeah. And so we would have a character. So you can be that guy. Who is that one? The brown guy. Where is he? I don't think I have him.
Then I am going to be this one here.
Yes, there we go. So you are, who is that?
This is James Somersault Washington.
Yes, James Somersault Washington. I'm going to be Lucia Luscious Venducci.
All right.
And so we would, take our movement cards. So you have movement cards for your character. And then you would secretly choose where you want to go. I'd secretly choose where I want to go, and we'd have six of these speakeasies out there.
Here,
And then we'd all reveal at the same time.
Right.
So kind of a simultaneous play at the beginning to move to wherever you chose to go.
Right.
So you'd put your little marker where you went. If you go to the same place as another character, another player in the game, you can tail them. And so that will allow you to look at the deliveries they've made, which are normally secret. And then you'd look at the delivery cards and see which ones match up. So if I had these in my hand, you could see that, let's see, what do we have down to? So these were kind of poor choices for me to make to make deliveries because I'm narrowed down to just being Shifty Chardonnay.
Right, so if you had all three of those, I would know exactly what your secret card was.
So you try to make them so that you have quite a few options. So here, I could be good hop, bad hop, or Shifty Chardonnay, or Shakedown Champagne. So I'm narrowed down to 3 right now. So you want to try to do that throughout the game. So you would have the option to either steal one of these for me or snitch on me. So you could call me out and say, I think you're Shifty Chardonnay. And if you're right, you get a bonus, you get more coins. Making deliveries gets you coins. And
so
then
most coins at the end of the game, that's
will
the
win. Yep,
win
the
condition.
team with the most coins.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the basics.
But how long is the game play?
It's a quick one. What do we have on here? Yeah, 25 to 45 minutes. That's about right. Even with 9 players, it might go with the maximum number of players and new players. It might go up to an hour, but that'd be about it.
Okay. And as you said, this is coming out very, very soon.
Now, yeah, this week. Yeah, so we just started selling to retailers last week, so it'll start showing up in stores this upcoming week. So,
All right.
Yeah.
So what else have we got for the rest of the year from you guys?
Yeah, we have so we have 2 kind of Gen Con releases.
Okay.
One is going to be our second expansion to Good Cop, Bad Cop. That's Undercover. So that Kickstarter campaign finished not too long ago. That one, it gives you a unique player power. So you're not just an honest cop or a crooked cop. You now you have an undercover assignment. So you might be a arms dealer. And so as an arms dealer, you're going to have a unique power that nobody else has. So there's a whole bunch of those. There's, I think, 26 different unique player powers you could have.
Okay.
That will just let you do something. So as an arms dealer, if people know how to play good cop, bad cop, you would be able to give a gun to any other player. So if you have you're an honest cop, you see an honest cop, you're pretty sure that maybe Tom Vassel's an honest cop, you can give him, no, probably not, you can give him a gun as your action.
Okay.
So that can really help depending on where you are in the game. If you really need to get him a gun, you can do that on your turn.
So bend and break the rules a little bit, basically.
Yep, just a little bit. And then one of the coolest thing that it's kind of hard to explain, but you have your 3 integrity cards that tell you whether you're honest or crooked. But your undercover assignment goes over one of them, and so it covers it so nobody can investigate this card. So now you can protect one of your cards from investigation, but then when one of your other ones gets investigated, then you would move it over there. So that does 2 things that it's kind of hard to understand what that might do in the game, but now the one card you covered is available to others, and the person who just saw this card now has information that nobody else has because they just saw it, but now nobody else can. And so it really adds some really cool dynamics to the game. So.
And you said you had something else.
The other thing that adds, though, too, is a ton of equipment. Because I know some people said, we want more equipment in Good Cop, Bad Cop, so this is like a huge stack of equipment.
Wow.
I think in the base game, it's 12 new pieces of equipment. Kickstarter backers got a whole bunch more, but lots and lots of new equipment.
Okay, cool. Anything else during this year?
Yeah, 2 more.
Okay.
I'll go over the next one quickly. Exposed is another quick social game. It looks a lot like Codenames on the Table. It's a 5x5 grid, but it's about you're all thieves. You are going to a party and you see the guests are out in that 5x5 grid. So you see everybody. You just don't know which player around the table is which guest.
Okay.
They're kind of sneaking into the party, pretending to be one of the guests.
Okay.
But each guest has a wallet on them. And so throughout the game, you'll see wallets disappear, you'll see guests move around the table, and that will help let you deduce which player is which on the table.
Gotcha.
So that's the basics of Exposed. So that's going to be our kind of big Gen Con release.
Okay, cool.
And then I have a scoop for you. So,
we have a scoop.
Yes,
okay, excellent. Here we
yes.
go. It's
So,
scoop time, folks.
Big announcement for us. So we have a game coming out called Leaders of Euphoria. So Stonemaier Games has let us use their Euphoria license to make a good cop, bad cop style social game.
Ah, very nice.
So it's Leaders of Euphoria, Choose a Better Oppressor is the name of the game.
Okay.
So that's Jamie. He didn't want a designer credit, but he helped us throughout the process to improve it. Came up with some really cool mechanics for the game that make it better. But he's officially a developer on it.
Okay.
And then it's Clayton and I who are the designers on it. But it's good cop, bad cop with there's no player elimination. So you start out as either a Euphorian or a Subterran, but you can come back as a Wastelander if you get shot.
Okay.
You don't actually get shot. There's no shooting in this. You get banished from the city of Euphoria.
Okay.
With a banishing stick. So that's kind of how that works, and you come back as a Wastelander, and it's people who play it, who love Good Cop, Bad Cop say it's better than Good Cop, Bad Cop. So,
Wow. Very
yeah,
cool. And
yeah,
a different theme.
Yeah.
That post-apocalyptic theme. I'm a huge fan of that theme myself, actually. So
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. That's great.
So
Yeah. And so you would call that sort of a redevelopment of Good Cop, Bad Cop.
Re-implementation. I was trying to decide on Board Game Geek what to call it, but I think re-implementation is the way to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So re-implementation of Good Cop, Bad Cop with the Euphoria theme, but
Cool.
it's significantly different too. There's no equipment. We didn't like the how it's sometimes unclear whether someone gets to use an equipment right away or not. So your equipment is actually artifacts from the old world, which you found in Euphoria, but they're permanent. So they're out there throughout for the whole game and give you like a little. They change the game a little bit just by being out there permanently. So
Cool.
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, really excited about. So that'll be like an Essen BGG Con release.
So
November time.
slightly later in the year.
Yep.
Okay,
So that's
sounds good.
what we have.
Good talking to you,
Cool,
man.
yeah, thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you. And that is it. You can turn that off. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Sweet. Thank you.
Come over for some chatting.
Yeah, you're going to get a whole bunch of questions over there in the Q&A now.
All right.
Okay. Suzanne, stay. Suzanne, stay. No, because I want to show. I want to show your cardigan. Please stay for a sec.
You
guys
want to
have to
show
see-
my cardigan?
Suzanne has the newest Dice Tower gear, the Dice Tower cardigan.
You
Look at
want to
this.
show my?
Yes, look.
That's so weird.
We have the newest Dice Tower gear, the Dice Tower cardigan. Is that the coolest thing?
It's not like you can buy it.
Yeah, it's not like merch.
It's corporate.
It's corporate gear, but still, I think that's cool. I love the cardigan.
I gotta go.
We'll get you one, Jason. We'll make sure you get a cardigan, okay? All right.
Actually, I don't even know where it was. We didn't.
I'm gonna work with Eric on the
Say he was gonna
camera.
give us a
We
schedule,
have.
we never did.
We're gonna take questions for Overworld. So they should be over here once they're done. If you guys have questions, start writing them out. Obviously, hit and roll questions.
And all the way back, that's where those seminar rooms are. They'll have signs out. Okay.
So we're waiting for questions. Just send us your questions here.
Also has a schedule. Grab lunch.
Yep.
On Twitter and yeah, that's true.
Hi, Internet.
Eric's here.
Bye, Internet.
Eric, come join us for this Q&A.
How's it going?
Okay, so do you guys have any questions for Overworld Games?
If anybody's doing that.
One Night Ultimate Creeper. What?
That's no.
Free to say.
So I gotta prove that.
Marianne, the answer's still new. Even though, not new by now, but new. Anyways, so send us questions coming over right now and we'll get some stuff done. So here's Brian.
Eric, talk like a Muppet?
Why would I want to talk like a Muppet?
How's it going?
Hey, good.
Questions for Overworld Games, guys. Did we have any from scrolling before?
No, we haven't yet. We're waiting for questions. So please, please, please give us some questions.
We're not talking about me right now.
We're not talking about Eric. We know Eric's on, but we're not.
So
actually
what do you say to
talking
people who
about
think there are
Eric.
too many hidden role games right now?
I've heard that a little bit.
Yeah.
I think there are so many more opportunities to do new things with that genre. I mean, I love. So what we try to do is we try to create games that provide memorable experiences and bring out emotions that other games don't. And I think hidden identity is the best way to do that. I just, when you have a secret that nobody else does, it just makes you feel differently. So there are so many more things you can do with the genre. So, I mean, I don't think every gamer out there will buy every social deduction game, but I think there's quite a few of them who love them, like I do. And so I think people still will. We don't need a game that's gonna, sell 1 million copies. We just, we want to make the games we want to play and we think other people want to play, and social deduction is what we love to do and play.
Here's an interesting question. Will you put a hit and roll game that's fully app?
Well, I'm a software engineer, and I've done mobile development myself, just for work and for fun. So I've made even a couple games a long time ago on mobile devices. So I could just do it, but I don't think social deduction is something that would work well in an app. I guess I wouldn't want to play a social deduction game in an app. I think some people might. But I want to be there with someone and kind of experience it together, face to face, in person. That's what I like to do when I play games. So I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't say we never will. But if we find a good game, if we make a game, we're gonna make a board game first. And if that game seems like it would be fun for a mobile app, then we would definitely consider it. We do want to use Tabletop Simulator more and more. We've actually uploaded some of our games into Tabletop Simulator, some of the new stuff. We're going to start doing some playtesting with it. So it's not a mobile game, but it's on a computer.
So outside of your own games, what's your favorite social deduction game?
Let's see. I guess it was the Resistance. Avalon did something for me, and it actually the Resistance, the original game, is kind of created some motivation for Clayton and I to make social games, and ended up building a business around them. So I'd say the Resistance, but Avalon is still my favorite game, I would say, to play, and it has been for years now. So yeah, absolutely love it.
How did the collaboration with Stonemaier Games come about? How did you actually get started with that?
Yeah, I mean, I've just kind of interacted with Jamie in different ways, with guest blog posts on his site, and he actually came to the Bay Area. So I'm in California now. He was in Minnesota, but moved to the Bay Area about 2 years ago. And Jamie came down there for I think it was to talk to his publisher about the crowdfunding book that he did. And so he met up with a few of us, and we just kind of hung out and talked, and it was just a conversation we had. Just like one thing I said was I would love to see Good Cop Bad Cop as a with another license to build a game around it. And he was like, well, what about Euphoria? Is that something that would be cool? And I was like, I would absolutely love to make a Euphoria game. So it was just a conversation we had. It wasn't really either of us who kind of pitched it. I don't think it was just came from a conversation. Yeah. But if I could be associated with Jamie and Stonemaier Games, I would love it, because man, he is such a good guy, and they're creating incredible games and just redefining the industry, especially for crowdfunding. So I learn every time he posts a blog article, I learn at least one thing from it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any others that you saw scroll by?
No. We're waiting for your questions. We have time because our next guest isn't here. So please give us questions.
Nobody cares about.
Or we'll just
about me.
We'll just
please prove me wrong.
No, they're still on.
Out there.
They want to know what kind of research you did when making Booze Barons.
Lots of no. It's really the three of us, Clayton as kind of the publishers, and then Jeremy Commander as the designer. We pretty much don't drink, actually, any of us. So it's kind of funny that we made a game about booze. But it was originally a spy game, a spy-themed game, and we decided that it was kind of, there are too many spy games out there. It was more, Jeremy loved the spy theme. He really wanted to make it be, continue with the spy theme, but I didn't really want to, because I just felt like there's too many. Are there too many spy games out there or not?
I don't think so yet.
I think Spyfall kind of just came out at that point,
Maybe.
and I was like, I don't want to make
I don't think it's as overused as, say, other themes.
Yeah, there hasn't been as much lately. So we came up with a whole bunch of possibilities for ways we could retheme it, and this was one of, actually, Jeremy suggested like good 10 different themes, and this is the one that I guess Clayton and I felt fit the mechanics really well, and we made a few changes to the mechanics, but it just seemed right, so that's what we went with.
So we have a question here. When you design games, what comes first, the mechanics or the theme?
When Clayton and I design games, we usually try to think of, I guess it would be theme first. It's more of like, what experience do we want? What do we want to create? When we decided we want to make a game about witches for New Salem, and so we kind of try to bring it down to one sentence. Like for New Salem, it was, we wanted people to say, "You're a witch," and that, to be like, to have something, have the game kind of work towards that sentence that somebody says, and they say it with passion, and it's not like, "You're a witch," it's like they get really excited about it, and then we kind of built a game around that. So it's more of a, it's not really theme or mechanics, it's
Moments.
a feeling
You're
or a
looking,
moment.
you're looking for that experience.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So we have a couple more questions here, interesting ones. Do you have any plans for any heavier games?
I like, when I play games, I like the occasional heavy game, but I'm more of a lighter game. I want to play, 3 games in an hour, just because I just want to have, I don't know, I don't want to get stuck in a rut of just kind of staring at the same board, and I don't know. There are a few games like Kemet is a little bit longer, but I still love Kemet. But for the most part, that would be probably about as heavy as we could ever get. We're gonna stay pretty light. We're gonna keep it social games.
No, here's another question following up on that is, do you have any plans to have hidden roles be a component when a larger game like an area control worker placement, I guess in the same vein as like a Battlestar Galactica kind of game?
We don't. I wouldn't say we'll never do it, but we don't have any plans for that in the future for our next 5 titles.
Saw a general Kickstarter question come along as a company that uses Kickstarter.
Yep.
How do you decide what is going to be part of a Kickstarter version of a game and a standard retail version of a game? And how do you feel about the retail or the Kickstarter exclusive concept?
That's a good question. We kind of redefine our theories on that frequently.
For each,
I mean,
release.
for each game, just what we want to make. We want the campaign to be kind of a fun adventure that everybody goes on with us. And we want to find a way to do that. So like with Booze Barons, we had a choose your own adventure that somebody created, a writer friend of Jeremy's created. And so you could do a choose your own adventure along with it, and we kind of revealed them as the campaign went on. And so people seem to like exclusive stuff, and they like kind of unlocking them. But then later on, other people don't like having have been exclusive stuff. So we just try to have it exclusive for a limited period of time to those backers. They have it for a while, but then eventually it all gets released.
That stuff available later.
Exactly.
So here's another interesting question, speaking of the Kickstarter, is with the high shipping costs, how were you able to offer the free worldwide shipping for the Good Cop, Bad Cop?
That's a good question. Yeah, so we use a company called Send from China. And so they work really well for a small game. It's very cheap shipping prices. But, I mean, anytime you send games across the country, it's going to be very expensive. So we just kind of took that on, took it out of our margins. We're not going to make, we won't make any money on the campaign, but we will get the game out to a lot of people, and we'll have a lot of inventory that we can hope to sell later. So I think overall, we should make some money on the campaign, but it's more about getting more people playing Good Cop, Bad Cop. I mean, it's kind of our foundation game for our company, and so we just want to get more people playing it. And so I guess financially, the only way it's kind of possible is because it's a very small game. I mean, it's a small box, the Bombers and Traders size box. And we can put it in a shipping envelope, and I mean, overall, it's going to be about $5 to ship anywhere in the country using Send from China. So it's something that not a lot of people use Send from China because there is some risk to it, and you do have to have a small game for it to be really, because we've had some issues with damaged boxes with bigger titles, trying to be shipped out. And there's a lot of communication difficulties with them. There's a lot of problems, but we haven't found a cheaper way to ship.
So, speaking of the Euphoria connection, if you can make a game with any license, regardless if you could get it or not, what would it be?
I really want to find some cool licenses. I've kind of looked for some for Good Cop, Bad Cop. I think there's a lot of them that you could use when there's good and evil. If you picture Star Wars, if you have, the dark side and the light side, I would love to make that. There's no way I'd ever be able to get a license for it.
But the dark side guys always dress so darkly. I don't think you have any trouble telling the bad guys from the good guys. You got nice tans and whites for the good guys, and then everyone's dressing in black. And
so I think that would
subtle.
be not at all. Yeah. So that would be the coolest one I can think of.
I I don't see any more questions.
Well, I
so-
think that Tom was saying that, I know, thank you. I think that Tom was saying that it might be fun if people are interested in doing a Q&A with you, Eric.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
we could
yes,
set
here.
that up.
We're now doing Eric Q&A
Oh,
time.
Thank you so
Yeah, no
much.
problem. Thanks,
Yes,
guys.
Have a good rest of
Thank
the
you very
show.
much. Yeah.
Bye, guys. Well, now what?
So, Q&A with Eric time now. So
Hi.
give your questions to Eric because he doesn't normally do Q&As with us.
Exactly.
So, we're waiting for Eric questions.
I did see somebody asked what was my least favorite audiobook to do. At one point, I was under a contract with Audible, which meant whatever they gave me, I just had to read. I didn't really get to say yes or no to any individual titles. And they gave me a 900-page philosophy textbook. It took about 2 weeks to read, and it was difficult. Lots of proper names and philosophical concepts. It was not fun. I fell asleep to my own narration. So that's probably my least favorite. Although we actually were talking about at breakfast that there was a book about French detectives that had a lot of French phrases, and French is my Achilles heel. It's something that I don't deal well with. The pronunciations and the phrasing doesn't work. So I had to let it go. What's your best impression? I don't do a lot of good impressions.
I do a pretty good Elmo. Elmo loves you.
But I don't really, I try not to do too many. I like to sort of stick with my own, that may be similar to characters that are out there, but not really, I don't like it when somebody says, hey, do a, Christopher Walken or something, because I'd rather do a Christopher Walken type than Christopher Walken.
Any more questions? Give us a second.
Turner and Hooch, Good Cop, Bad Cop? That does sound fun.
You know what sounds fun? Changing the batteries so they don't die.
That is fun. Would you like to
Yes,
change the
batteries
batteries?
for us? Top 5 Star Trek games, and then we'll change the batteries.
Oh boy. Well, let's see. Probably Fleet Captains is number 1. Are there 5 that I'd want to talk about? There's
Star Trek Panic now.
Just seeing the components, I'm excited about that. I like the dice game, 5-Year Mission. I think it's fun. There's tension there.
Are you gonna ever do something with Rich?
I'm not Rich Summer.
After Summer, are you gonna do anything with Rich?
I would love to do something with Rich. We've talked about it just because of our name similarities, but we just haven't come up. You know what I want to do? I want to do, because Rich has publicly talked about how he hates flavor text in games. And I want to do a flavor text off. So, we each bring our best examples of the flavor text in games and narrate. It's sort of like Brian Williams doing the gravitas competition.
Yes.
I'd like to do that. That would be fun.
Here's something interesting. Did you do training lessons in voice training, or did you just naturally do this?
Oh no, you need training. I mean, I've taken seminars, I've done classes. You sort of have to learn how to use your voice as a product in the industry. You can't just jump in there, because you have to know what the industry wants. You have to know the parameters of what you're doing. You have to learn to focus on what you're good at. I've found that I'm best at audiobooks and corporate narration, although I hate the corporate stuff.
So I guess someone's asking, would you do game rule book readings if any companies wanted you to do that?
Hey, they know where to find me. I have lots of business cards. I hand them out here, and yes, I've done it. I don't know if I've done rule books. Actually, I did. There's a site, yukata.de, and if you go and get the tutorial of Balloon Cup, it's me. But then they decided not to do any others after that one. They're like, let's see how this goes, and I did Balloon Cup, and that was it. So yes, I have done rule books.
When did you decide you wanted to do voice acting?
I wanted to be a Muppet. I interned with the Muppets. I auditioned to become a Muppeteer, and it didn't go well. I mean, I didn't actually get to a physical audition, but I sent in tapes. My student film, my thesis film, is a puppet production called Felt Ambition. and so that was where I was headed in college. In the last couple of years, I was really focusing on being a Muppeteer, and that didn't work out, so I went into radio. And that led to voice work, and then I left radio. And
So we saw a bunch of this earlier, and now we got to ask you the question. You know how everyone hears the voice deeper in their head when they talk? You always hear your voice deeper than what it actually sounds like when you listen to it back on a recording.
Sure.
How deep does your voice sound when you talk?
oh, the walls rumble in my head. Everyone, close your eyes. Yeah, it's.
You just put everyone to sleep for a second time today.
Yes. Do not wake back up.
What else do we have?
My favorite movie? I think it's still Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but the Lord of the Rings trilogy gets pretty close up there.
Have you ever hurt your voice doing voice work?
I can hurt my voice if I continue to push when I'm not well. If I start to get a cold and I'm trying to get, a book done, or usually not through like a standard day of narration or anything. I've gotten to the point where I can do 5-6 hours, and that doesn't really hurt my voice. But if I'm sick and I push it too early, that's when things can get bad. So I have to be very cognizant. Or in an event like this, like here in Las Vegas, it's very dry. We're in a desert. I don't know if you knew that. And so I have to be careful to drink a lot of water and not talk too loud, and notice when things are starting to get strained and stop.
Here's a good question for you. Jeff's wife is an on-air radio DJ, and she's doing voice work and wants to start professional voiceover work. What's the recommendations you give her to get started?
Don't work too cheaply. I think the goal right off the bat is to try and get as much work as you can, but you often get yourself pegged as being a low-cost voice talent, which is not good for you, and it's not really good for voice talents. You should be compensated for your work, and so hold out for better rates sometimes, and don't do work you don't want to do just because it's available. Because you can get, I've got some corporate clients that I'm still stuck sort of doing work for because I used to do work for them and now they expect me to. And I have difficulty saying no sometimes.
So I know the answer to this, but I'm guessing that at least IHIB doesn't. Is there a list of your audiobooks?
There is a list of my audiobooks. Actually, on Board Game Geek, there's a list in the Dice Tower forum that I try to maintain pretty regularly. You can also just go to audible.com and search for either Eric Summerer or Eric Michael Summerer, which is my professional name, and you'll find a whole list. Good times.
Oh, we
just ignore the romance novels.
We could answer this one together. What two-player game do you think you would both play and have fun playing each other?
Well, and then we held hands, I think.
We did play, and then we held hands.
But we didn't. We didn't win.
Okay, we didn't win, but we played it together, and we had a blast playing it. Eric needs to play games more with us. He doesn't get to play as many.
It's hard. Well, unless we do it via Skype. We could
via
do that.
Skype, or when he comes in for the 24-hour thing, or when we see him at conventions. Hopefully, we haven't actually played any games yet here, but hopefully we'll get to play games.
Somebody said, didn't you guys have to change the batteries on the mic?
Yeah. Chaz is getting batteries. I don't know where he went, but we're taking questions until the batteries die, so keep giving the questions. What else?
Do we have our next group? They showed up and they left. No?
It was the Star Realms people.
Ask,
Do we have our next group?
Yeah, where'd the Star Realms? I just saw the Star Realms people. Where'd they go?
Oh, Jasco.
No, they're not now. They're much
Oh,
later.
okay. Never mind.
And Jasco didn't come either.
No. Both the 11 o'clock and 11:15 and 11:30 have been no-shows so far.
Oh, are there any Choose Your Own Adventure audiobooks? Is that possible?
I'm sure it's possible. I don't know of any. I haven't gone looking, though. That sounds like, well, it would be a lot of work, although not that much more than narrating an entire book.
It wouldn't be any more work than
No,
writing
it'd just
a
be,
regular book.
it'd just
It's
be
the
presenting
software
it.
to
Yeah, you'd
get
have to
it, yeah.
build software that would run it. I've never been asked to do so. I think you certainly could. Yeah, I'm surprised that it's not marketed more. Some people have tried. I've seen podcasts do it.
Here's one for me about, did I end up playing more games with Rahdo? Well, if you saw us play the live play the other day, Rahdo actually stayed at my house, or Richard Ham is his real name. He stayed at my house.
And then we held hands with him.
And we did play, we held hands as each other. No, but my heavy game group, we went over there, we played Princes of Florence, Traders of Genoa, a few other games. So yeah, we played some games together. He was supposed to actually do a video for my game collection. Tom said he could have first dibs because Tom hasn't done it yet, but he didn't. So for those of you who always ask about my game collection, Rahdo didn't get the video either, but eventually there will be video of that.
Someone just said, "Oh man, is that the One Night Ultimate Werewolf dude?" Cool.
Oh, speaking of One Night Ultimate Werewolf, is it strange playing one night and hearing yourself telling yourself what to do?
Well, I always tell myself what to do in my head, so it's not that different. Right now, I'm hearing Eric, close your eyes, open them, close them, open them. It's just how I live. It's just now there's pictures to go along with it. Actually, my son really, he's never played One Night, but he loves just goofing with the app and picking rolls and trying to find the Easter eggs and stuff. So he has had a blast. Like, what can I make Daddy say now? Everyone, close your eyes, and he laughs. Yeah.
What's the name of the mic you use?
Are they asking about this?
I don't think
mic,
they're
or-
asking about this. I think they're asking about your professional
This is a
mic.
Canon VM V1.
No, I think they're asking about your professional mic.
I use I was using a Shure SM7B for many years, and I have recently gone to an Audio-Technica AT4040, which I like better.
We got a lot from that answer.
I'm sure they do. I felt it's a more sensitive mic, and so it just gives me a little more presence. It also offered a lower noise floor, so that there's less of a background hiss, essentially, in the studio.
Oh, here's an interesting question for me. Are we bored of Rahdo's No Take That stick? Well, as you saw in the live play, I moved into his space and started conflicts with him in Carson City because I don't mind Take That, and we cowered him away from that. But maybe we'll get him to be more aggressive in games in the future. But I don't know, maybe it's a thing, he only plays with his wife, and I don't know. I guess, if, when I get married, I'm not going to want to beat up my wife all the time when it comes to gaming. When it comes to gaming, Suzanne, I wouldn't want to.
Phrasing.
What are you talking about?
Win the game.
I zoned out for a second, and now he's...
You want to play games that are more family-friendly a lot of times where it's not like I'm winning all the time and then the other person doesn't have fun. So, when you're only playing alone with your wife all the time, I could understand why he doesn't want to play games that are more aggressive.
Question, does Eric read in his spare time, or does audio work ruin it? Yeah, I don't get a lot of pleasure reading time, because usually if I'm reading something, it's prepping the next book. It's gotten to the point where I'm dealing with like 3 or 4 titles at once, because I will be narrating one, prepping the next one, maybe dealing with pickups, corrections on a 3rd title, possibly quality control on a 4th title. It gets a little dizzying. In fact, the other day I did pickups for 3 different titles on the same day while narrating the end of another book. So it's hard to even get in the right mindset sometimes. But yes, I don't get to read for pleasure very often until the battery on my iPad dies, and then I can't prep the next book. Is there such a thing as audio comic books? I did a proof of concept of one once, but I don't think it was ever published. It was more of a, hey, let's see what happens if you do this. But that's as far as I've gotten. There are like full cast audiobooks that will do like all the superhero voices, but it's multiple people. It's more of an audio drama than an audio book. It exists. Eric, what equipment and software do you use for sound mixing? I record on the AT4040, and I record into Adobe Audition. When Tom and I record the podcast, I am recording just my track. I'm essentially talking to Tom on the phone in my headphones, and then I record my part, and then Tom sends me his recording, and I stitch them together, and we have a show.
There was something that I just saw. It was, wait, let me find it. Give me a sec. There was something that was interesting to follow up on that.
What are we doing?
It's the question right above there. Have you been recognized just by your voice alone? Like, if you're just talking, someone goes, "You're Eric Summerer."
Like at conventions, especially before I did many videos, that used to be the case. Like, I would be totally invisible until I said, Tom, do we need to talk to this guy? And they would go, oh, hi, I know you. I haven't had anyone do that for audiobooks. Like I haven't been at the grocery store or something and have somebody go, "Hey, are you the guy that read that book?" No, that doesn't seem to happen.
For this is for both of us. Would we ever get bored of board gaming? Me, no way. I've been playing board games since the '80s, and I don't think I could ever get bored of it. It's just such a great hobby to do. It's much, like I always say, it's much better than other hobbies like going to bars or doing things like that. So
I'd like to go to a bar and play board games.
So I really like board gaming. I don't think I'd ever get tired of it. Hopefully it's something I pass along to my children too. The love of playing games and having good moments and social moments with people. How about you, Eric?
No, I mean there's always more games to play, and even if all the board games just stopped, if all these publishers just said, we're taking 2016 off, there's still lots to play, and there's lots of favorites that I'd love to circle back and try with new people. I can't imagine being done with this hobby. It changes based on life, dealing with family and other commitments. And I certainly feel like playing different games at different times, but I can't imagine walking away from the hobby.
Do you push your voice out in projection techniques, or is this your normal speaking voice?
This is how I talk.
I can confirm.
People make fun of me, and I had people.
Makes fun of you?
People
No.
in college. I had a reputation as television, radio, film Eric Summerer. That was my name. It's just how I talk. I'm sorry. I mean, how am I supposed to sound?
Whereas I have shared a room with this man and he is faking it.
No, the thing is,
big
those
scam.
people that laugh at you now, you're laughing at them now because you're the ones who's successful because of that amazing voice.
Well, sure.
That sounded like repressed hate and anger there coming back out.
Little bit.
They
little
laughed,
bit.
but guess who's successful now?
No, this is just how I talk.
Let's see, where else are we? How do you feel about the recent Eric Only podcast episode?
Me? Well, I had to put it together, so I'm a little annoyed at it. That is not the way I wanted it to go. It was a last-minute thing. I edit the podcast on Monday night. It posts Tuesday morning. So we found out about the error late on Monday and essentially had to make a judgment call. How are we going to do this? Tom was even doing a live stream, so I didn't even get to talk to him for a couple extra hours. So somewhere around 10 p.m. on Monday night, we made the call, cut me out of the episode, and that's what happened. It was the best we could do. The alternatives were not to post an episode or to re-record it, which we already had a whole full slate for the next week and we couldn't do another one. Re-recording an entire episode would have been very difficult to fit into the schedule. So I think we did the best we could. It wasn't ideal, but it's what we had to do.
So here's another question. Does Tom also record his tracks separately?
Yes, he does. He records through a Skype recording software. He calls me via Skype, records on his computer. He also records the backup track of me and him together. So on the rare occasion when I've had an audio glitch, he's been able to give me his side, which makes it sound like I'm on the telephone, but at least it's not unpleasant to listen to. It's just a lower fidelity, and you can sort of go, oh, that's weird, but it's fine. I can listen to that. But the error that we had a couple of episodes back when we had to actually remove Tom was it was grating. If we had put more of Tom in that episode, people would have said, they would have complained. They would have said, no, I don't want to listen to this anymore, and turn it off. And that's not what we wanted to do. So we had to take some content out in order to make it okay to listen to and still make a coherent episode.
So there's a question for both of us is solo games. Do you play them? I know my favorite solo games, I really like Friday.
Yeah, I like Friday a lot. That's a good
And
one.
I also like Hostage Negotiator.
I haven't played Hostage.
I'm trying.
Castellian is really good.
Yes.
Castellian, and
Yes,
Onirim.
and Onirim, yeah. He's giving me a look like, I can't believe you didn't mention those V-Man little games, the Dream games. They're very good as well. What about you, Eric? Do you play them a lot, or do you not play
Friday,
solo games?
I've played a few Victory Point games, solo games. The one I think I like the best is their take on disease management. It's called,
Plague Inc.
no, it's...
That's online.
Oh.
Plague Inc.'s awesome though. Me and Tom played it on the plane.
Victory Point Games has a
Humanity's Last
like it's
Gasp.
not pandemic, but it's the same theme.
Yes.
It's disease management.
Infection, humanity's last gasp.
Infection, humanity's last gasp, and I've liked that one very much.
Yeah, that one's cool. It feels like
Awesome.
a video game though in large parts of it.
Yeah.
Ooh, you could do Q&A with Richard too.
Oh yes, Rahdo's here now. Richard Ham, come in. We're doing Q&A.
Alright.
No, come sit down. We're doing the Q&A.
Okay.
We're
Get in the shot.
Somebody asked what's coming next.
So,
oh my goodness.
We were just talking about. Oh, this is the person who doesn't like take that. And look at the way he just shoved air.
Oh my goodness. We are waiting for our next person. our
Yeah,
next publisher
one
to show
weekend
up.
with these people, and it changes
I
your
know.
outlook
We
completely.
were just talking about that. They asked a question about your take that-ness, and I said how I kind of moved into your place in Carson City, and it scared you, but now we're turning you into a take that kind of person.
I was not afraid. The bravest thing is to turn the other cheek.
Okay, so questions for Rahdo. Throw them out here too. We're still waiting for our next publisher guest. So
Is that Suzanne in the background? Yes.
yes,
Suzanne is.
Suzanne doesn't want to come. Do you guys want a question and answer, Suzanne? If we
Well,
see a bunch
Rahdo
of
just got here.
yes, Suzanne, we'll bring her as a fourth.
But you got no. You guys focus on Richard.
What have you been up to so far?
Oh wait. Here's the first question for Rahdo.
What's Jason's house? Jason has a beautiful house, Trevin. 2-story. He has lovely parents. I actually went to Cracker Barrel with them.
Oh, nice.
We spent quite a bit of time talking about politics as well. They're really, really fascinating stuff. Jason
all
could not
true.
be more different than his parents, too. I mean, I almost wonder if he was adopted or something like that. Because they seem very reasonable, I thought. Although, we're not going to be talking politics today. Just for the record, stow any of those questions.
What have you been up to so far here in Las
Oh, in Las Vegas, trying to find all the junk food I can't get back home in Malta. Check out Real Donuts, which is in the north side of Vegas because I rented a car.
Okay.
Had the best apple fritter this morning. Oh,
Wow.
I'm still reeling from it. I've tried to sit in. I just came from sitting in on one of the publisher seminars, and well, I was expecting, I'm going to get to hear about all the new stuff Cool Mini is doing. Cool Mini is doing. No. It was an hour of them talking about retailer initiative programs and stuff like that.
It's tricky because some of these presentations.
It was a bait and switch, I'm saying.
It is. Some of them are amazing. You sit into one, like the Steve Jackson one that I'm doing later today, is going to be this rapid fire. Here's what's next. Here's what we're going to do in the next 6 months. And he just fires stuff at you, and you're like, content! Yes, tweeting like crazy. But then other ones, you sit down, and this is a convention that's primarily designed for
definitely
retailers. For retailers.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's where you should put your banners. Here's where you should put this.
Here's
This
how
is
you
where you
set
should
up
put
your store, and here's how you display our
displays.
product,
Yeah.
and here's our organized play system.
Yeah,
that we've
here's
got
the new
coming
initiative
up.
we're going to be rolling out over the next 6 months. Here's the warehouse issues we've been having for the last 6 months, and how we
you've got
expect to
retailers who are
resolve them.
very upset about that, and now want to ask their I want to talk to you about your alliance exclusive policy. And, yeah, it's less useful for us.
It was interesting, but I almost felt like I would have gotten as much from sitting in on one of the seminars that's going on right next door for our Worldwide Air Traffic Controller Conference.
Yes. Yeah, there's more than one convention going on at once here at Bally's.
So how tall are you?
I am 6'3". I'm just a smidge below Tom. I might need to get my own hat just so I can feel comfortable around
I
it.
felt short standing next to both of you, so both of you are just tall in my book.
Yep.
Okay, now we do have a bunch of questions for you.
Is your wife here?
No, she's back home with the Beagles. In case people are wondering why I'm here, actually, I have to admit I'm wondering why I'm here myself. As you just pointed out, there's plenty of media opportunities, I suppose, but really, I guess the meat of it gets more exciting tomorrow afternoon when the hall opens
yes.
up, which
they're
they're still
they're
building
currently
right now.
setting up for the display area, and this is a sort of a different hall experience than most any other convention because the the publishers are limited to a simple square booth.
Yes.
You don't get the huge sprawling booth space that an Asmodee or a Plaid Hat or Z-Man would have at Origins or Gen Con or anything like that. You have just this tiny little booth, often with 1 or 2 reps who want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So the access to these publishers is better.
Yeah.
But and because they're smaller and it's more intimate sort of experience, you can make those contacts.
Hang on, I need to clear something up. Trevin Taylor, I'm clearing something up.
Oh, about your house?
No. He lives with his parents. Actually, let Rahdo explain it. My parents live in New York. I live in Florida. they're down for the winter, so they stayed with me for like a month so they
Yeah.
could get away from the cold. I don't actually live with my parents. I actually own my own house.
Jason's parents were temporarily living with him, is a better way to put it.
Yes, yes. Because now people are like, he's a 43-year-old who lives with his parents, which is not true.
For the record, Jason is actually a very successful graphics professional. Yeah, and actually really fascinating stuff there too, although I don't imagine that's probably within the purview of this particular Q&A. But Jason and I have had a lot of fun talking about the differences between his profession and my profession in video games and whatnot, and the similarities between the two and whatnot. But hi, are 18xx games too mean for you? Yeah. Actually,
18xx games are nice.
That was completely unwarranted because I've never played one and I likely never will.
I'm going to get you to play one. Next time I see you, because it won't be here, I'm going to bring an 18xx
Tell you what,
game.
you come to Malta, you bring 18xx to my house, and we'll see what we can do.
I know 3-player 18xx. Jen, get ready for that.
Somebody's asking your opinion on the alternate 5 tribes cards after your review.
Since it's kind of all my fault, a little bit. Well, first of all, apologies to everybody who was upset by that. I was only speaking my own personal mind. I was certainly not calling for change or trying to rally the banner or anything like that. But to answer the question, I think I'm pleased. I would be willing to suspect, not ever having talked to anybody at Days of Wonder about this, that the reality is they just didn't think twice about it because they are in a society that has a very, very different perspective. In much the same way that their French developers, has a very different perspective about, say, nudity in games or what have you, and that might not go over well. I mean, I think they have a different perspective about this as well, and I'm sure they said, oh dear, is that a problem? We certainly, I believe this, they don't want to upset anybody.
I don't think they intended to
Yeah.
upset
They just didn't think twice about it, and they were more than happy to change it. Actually, my understanding is a little bit of inside scuttlebutt. A big part of what brought that about was Scott Alden, the head geek of Board Game Geek. He was actually involved with getting the Faker cards developed, although you'd have to ask him about the particulars. He just mentioned it to me in passing at one point, that Board Game Geek itself and their promo store was instrumental in getting that switch to happen. Yeah.
Well, you can't always tell when something.
That's
is going
all
to
hearsay,
strike a chord with somebody. You know, you don't know how someone's going to react all the time. And often, with the best intentions, you can put something out there, not realizing how it will be received by your audience. And all you can do is say, be understanding about that reaction and accept that reaction, not get defensive about that reaction. And I think we're sorry, we didn't realize this was going to be an issue, and we're going to change it.
Yeah, because they're just trying to make games that people can have fun with.
I didn't mind it. I just want to say, we're going to take counter viewpoint here.
Would you like to come to blows on this topic right now?
I didn't mind the slave cards. I didn't think it was offensive in that way, because it's when you're looking at a game versus looking at a real situation. It's two very different things, and I didn't feel it was offensive because of the context of the way it was in a game.
See, the interesting thing is,
of course, I
the
don't believe in
context.
slavery or anything.
Well, no, of course, and that's not the issue. It was, in fact, the context that was the issue. I have no problem with slavery being portrayed in games as well. I think Endeavor is an amazing game.
Yes.
And Endeavor, it actually casts you in the role of a slaver, which goes even further, and I think that's absolutely amazing. My problem, just for the record, because a lot of people kind of took what I said out of context, and Richard's a social justice warrior and all of that. To me, my only issue with it was the presentation. Within the context of a bright, cheery, happy, colorful game, which its central theme was actually reunification, to actually portray it in the way it did, I thought was literally gratuitous. It was probably the most stark representation of black man in chains, head down, bound in servitude. I mean, games that are much heavier that deal with this topic don't portray it graphically like that. And when people say, yeah, but assassination is the game, surely that's even worse. You're a hypocrite. My counter to that is the fact that at no point in 5 Tribes do they actually have an assassination card that shows somebody's throat being slit in a grisly fashion. That would be the equivalent. And if a card like that had been in the game, I would have found it also gratuitous and out of place.
I think that's where we have to leave it because we're. I know that what a lovely topic.
Yes, Mr. B is still setting up. So while Sean's setting up,
do we want to have
we'll take a few rapid fire questions.
A cheery question.
Yeah,
what one game would all three of you agree on loving to play?
Oh, I imagine there'd be quite a bit of overlap.
Sure, I'll play just about anything.
Well, I mean,
I wouldn't mind playing 5 Tribes.
I wouldn't mind playing 5 Tribes with this group.
What would be a really good fit for this?
For the
trio?
three of us, well, I mean, I'll always go to Agricola right off the bat.
No, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico. Are you a Puerto Rico fan?
Yeah, I like Puerto Rico. I worry a bit about Puerto Rico because of the perception. You've talked about it in the past. I saw this firsthand with Princess of Florence the other day when I played with Jason and his group.
What about Copycat? You like Copycat?
My wife loves Copycat.
I love that game.
I think it's charming and sweet, and if you go in understanding this is a light trifle of a game. It looks like it's a big elaborate production, but it's a quick, fun, light, fast.
Well, what I like about it is that the concept is a joke.
Yes.
What happens if we just combine all these games? But there's actually a game there, and
and it pulls all the disparate elements together very nicely into a tight package.
It does a nice job with it. So I would enjoy playing that.
What was your favorite game that you played with us while you've been here?
On the day, when I was down south?
Down south.
On the day, I would probably have to, in terms of just pure fun, the ones I absolutely just had most smile on my face, we started and ended strong. I enjoyed Nitwit and I enjoyed Dungeon Fighter. I mean, I liked all of them. I had a great time. I learned a lot because these were, with the exception of Carson City, all games that I would normally not get to play at all. And I certainly got to see a different side of Carson City than what I'm used to seeing when I play with Jen. This guy, right out of the gate, just cuts me down.
Well, I really needed that. I really needed to start with a mine, and you happen to also want a mine.
No. You told me afterwards, you recognized the fact that I basically opened with your opening gambit.
Yes.
And if you couldn't have it, I wasn't going to have it either.
Yes, you did. He did the same thing I would do, which is take the mine, take the money, and then turn it in for the 2 times points early.
Well, I saw it as a sign of respect.
Yes, it was.
So there's only one way for these two to figure that out. They're going to duke it out while we turn the camera around.
Very good.
And get ready for Mr. B Games.
All right, that'll be up shortly.
Yes, and Rahdo might be back at some point.
I'm here all week.
If you want to give me like a
Be sure to tip your waitress.
Yeah, actually, it looks like they're still working on stuff. So one more question. Someone said that he plays with his girlfriend a lot.
Wife?
And no, someone said he plays with his girlfriend.
Yes.
What would be, just give a quick list of 5 games that would be great for him and his girlfriend to play.
I'm going to cop out and literally say go to games.rahdo.com. That is a list.
No cop outs, you're live. Give us a list of 5.
I don't know the guy. I mean, for all I know, she's a goth girl. For all I know, he's a hardcore sports fanatic. For all I know, she's a hardcore sports fanatic.
I can name games right away. The first game I would name of a 2-player game is Burger Joint. Burger Joint is simple. It's very much like Settlers of Catan, and it's a
unless, of course, she's a vegetarian.
Then
Then
she could be the pizza one, and she could use the mushrooms and the cheese. I'm telling you, I can name games right away. Burger Joint is the first game I pull out. That's the first game any new girlfriend I have. I pull out Burger Joint. It's the first game I play with them.
How many new girlfriends are you pulling that out with? He said, changing the subject.
Just the one that my new girlfriend, the one that I've been seeing for a little bit.
Phrasing.
I don't know why they're.
I would imagine it's a new meme.
Okay.
Phrasing is the double entendre. It's like when someone makes a double entendre, they say, phrasing. What's your phrasing?
That's a good question.
I own Between Two Cities. Would it be worth buying Quadropolis?
Quadropolis, I think, is better. I really like Quadropolis.
Well, I think, first of all, they while they're both city-building games, they scratch radically different itches. I think about the only thing they have in common is the theme and the fact that they both have kind of standardized, hey, once your city's built, you get scores based on combinatorial tie things, but the core gameplay of the two couldn't be more different. First of all, Between Two Cities, that's going to be better and more exciting with more players. Quadropolis only goes to 4. So if you have a wide variety of, variability in terms of your overall play group size, that's a good reason to own them right there. Quadropolis, I would say, is the heavier of the two. It really makes you puzzle scratch a bit more. So I can only say I personally own both, and I'm happy to keep both.
I'm voting for Quadropolis. I can make decisions.
No, but that wasn't the question.
Like I can play
that wasn't the question. If you could only have, actually, what the question was, they already own one. Should they get the other? Are you suggesting they should they should sell their Between Two Cities to get the money
only
to buy
if they're
Quadropolis?
Tom and feel like they don't have enough room on their shelf. Me, they're both on my shelf.
Yeah, exactly.
Quadropolis officially isn't on my shelf, but it will be as soon as Days of Wonder puts it out.
They're both great games.
All right, we're gonna stop there. They are about ready. I'm taking the mic away. You can't talk.
We're gonna change. We'll
just keep talking, answering
change
questions,
batteries.
and no one can hear.
Right. We're gonna change batteries on the microphone.
That's a good idea.
Because we're studying Mr. B games right now.
So microphone change in process.
So we can keep stretching if you like, or not.
No, we got to change the microphone battery.
Oh yes, you should do that.
Mr. B still isn't ready, so as he changes the microphone.
Oh no, yeah, I did.
It's good if I snap it back on.
Batteries.
Here, wait, Eric, let's get the mic check first.
Mic check 1 2 3. Test test test. Mic. You can look on the thing and see if you're getting audio.
They're just gonna do
La 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 la.
It's not like changing games. Just like, hey, here's some new stuff.
all new. Yeah, of the 4 base decks, all new cards, and 5 new planets.
Okay. Do you? So that means every time you play, you mix it up and have different. Or
Yeah,
you have the same
you
number
could
of
mix
planets.
the original set and the new set. You can mix up the planets.
Okay, but you have the same number of planets.
Yeah, I
They're
believe you'll
just-
still have.
Are they the same planets with just different powers?
No, I think there'll be new planets, like it'll be a surrounding, I think, or possibly they're just giving the planets new powers. That
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
1,000% sure on, but
Let Eric run the chat.
cool.
Oh, you
Yeah.
got the
It's
fun
on
gig.
now.
He's got the fun job.
Audio sound is good. Mic good.
You good? We're ready?
I'm ready.
Oh! Nice job, pal.
Now I don't look so good.
I'm leaving.
Eric, do you got a powder brush?
That's
I
caught
can
on
borrow?
camera now.
Because
Right,
Rahdo hit the
right,
lights, and now I don't. They're gonna get my bad side.
I'm very, very sorry. I am clumsy.
I look glossy. Is that what you said?
Sorry.
I just went to the spa. I should have fresh
You
skin.
glow. A healthy,
Yeah, you're
beautiful
good.
glow.
That was uncalled for.
That was worth it.
No.
Totally worth it.
If only it had been caught. Yes, that was a.
Okay, I'll go live
Sorry,
on
guys.
this
The
camera.
stream just saw it in front of me.
Yeah, you're.
Oh,
No, they saw it.
It's just my silky smooth skin. Right?
It's beautiful anyway. Yeah.
Ah,
I kind of. No matter. We could turn them all off, and you could light up the room on your own.
nice. Like a diamond.
All right.
Are we ready over there?
You guys good?
Yeah, we're good.
Susie, you're already recording?
I'm recording.
All right, cool.
You're live.
So I'm going to clap for an audio visual zinc. You want to do it? Go for it. It's good enough. Hey everybody, welcome back to our Gamma Trade Show 2016 coverage. I am Zeke Garcia. I'm here with Sean from Mr. B Games, and he is going to be telling us about the new upcoming goodies for this year from Mr. B. So what have we got?
So what we have out on the table is Alien Uprising: Zothran Invasion. It's a standalone card game set in our Alien Uprising universe, which was our first game back a couple years ago.
Was that your first game?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't my first game. It was my first game on my own. As
As Mr. B Games, right.
Well,
That's
I mean,
what
I
meant.
published one way back in 2005, but nobody cares about that. My first real game.
We're not
We don't talk
talking
about
about that one, yeah. All right, cool. So this looks like you are building your own robot here. Is that what's happening?
Yes, so each person's going to get a deck of hands, a la Seven Wonders style. You're going to draft one card out past the hand, and then at the end, you're going to try to assemble your robot because hopefully you were good enough to draft arms and legs and things of the such.
Okay.
And depending on how well you draft it, if you get similar colors, you'll get a synergy bonus.
Okay.
Which will get you some extra damage on your guy.
Gotcha.
And then once you're good to go, they'll all have different weapons like rockets, machine guns, lasers, and that's what the dice will represent. Green for lasers, red for rockets, black for machine guns.
Okay.
And then once everybody's drafted a robot, you're going to flip over an alien, and we're all going to basically go out there and punch him in the face until somebody defeats him. And the goal is to be the guy that defeats the most aliens.
Now you want to be the one that deals the killing blow, is that right?
Right. So if a guy's got 15 hit points and you do 7 out the chute, chances are your buddy's going to take him out.
Come
for
in
you.
and swoop in, right.
And where the game shines is you can play dirty tricks on one another. So you can, right before somebody's about to hit a barrage of rockets on someone, you could play an Iron Dome, which basically gives the alien a shield.
So rockets don't hit him, and all of a sudden he does 2 points, and it moves back around to you, and you can come in for the kill shot.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and the idea is, the concept is, in Alien Uprising, they were all crew, they were tight knit, right? They had to fight to get off the planet, and this is like 10 years in the future. They went back to Earth. Now they've been on the celebrity. They're all talk show people, and they're all famous, right? Everybody knows them from that game.
Okay.
And so why they're fighting is they want to prove to everybody that they were actually the ones the first time around that took the aliens out.
Gotcha.
So it's a little competitive, but quick light, probably about a 30-minute game. It runs about 10 to 15 minutes per player.
Okay.
A little less, probably closer to 10 minutes a player.
Wow,
And,
that's quick, yeah. What timetable are you looking at for this to be released?
We're going to probably do a Kickstarter on it here in a few months, and I'd like to get it out, October, November-ish. That's
Okay.
kind of the target.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
Well, I'll move over to a couple other things, but quick note is we're going to be doing a expansion for Helionox, and this should be going live here in about a month.
Okay.
So it'll be a total new set of cards, some new planets, all kinds of new gadgets. Basically, the idea is it's standalone. You could buy just it if you hadn't bought a Helionox before, and you could play it right out the gate. Or if you own the original, you can have both sets, and then now you have a 4-player game.
Gotcha. Right, because if you bought 2 Helionox sets, you had a 4-player game.
Correct.
This is a 1 or 2, but both would be a 4-player game. Now with the secondary set, then you can do that without having 2 of the same.
Exactly. Feedback
Gotcha.
early on was that people really wanted it to be 4. So we thought, well, if we make the expansion that way, then they can buy 1 of each, and we'll probably toy around with maybe a bigger box that has a 4-player variant, a 4-player already pre-set up and things of that nature.
Okay.
We're still kind of back and forth on that one a little bit.
And there's a Kickstarter coming for that as well.
Yep, and we hope to do that maybe here in a month.
Okay. All right. Sounds
Probably
good.
the newest on deck. And then our newest bit of news that we just announced this yesterday is we picked up the folks at Terranova Games. So we'll be doing distribution and promotion and whatnot for all of their products, and helping them with their future Kickstarters and things of that nature. And it starts off with Farspace Foundry, which is their newest release. They delivered it basically in January to their Kickstarter backers, and we're looking to get it into distribution here in like April, May. So we're just getting the rest of the print run and bringing it in and hoping it gets to stores here relatively quickly.
All right. Excellent. And then we've got one more prototype over there that we're going to be looking at. Ooh, I'm dropping all your cards everywhere.
That's okay.
All right, let's take a look at that last one there.
So this one is a
Move this over.
good old dice rolling little Cthulhu game.
Ooh, Cthulhu and dice chucking.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm quite happy with how it's turned out.
All right, and obviously, folks,
prototyping.
Yes, prototype. All right, let's get that somewhat in the camera. There we go. All right, so tell me a little bit about the game play itself here.
So the crux is in the dice, of course. This is also a newer designer. His name is Maz. He's from Denmark.
Okay.
And we've teamed up with him and Richard Lanius are the designers of this. So we felt it was very important to bring somebody in that knew Cthulhu lore better than all of us, and I thought he would be a great developer. We brought him in for development, and he had so many good ideas that halfway along the line, the two just really started clicking it off and almost designed a new game by the time it was all said and done. And I really like where it went. Very, very proud of it. So at its core, this is kind of like reverse of all the other investigator type games. In this one, you're playing the cultists, and you're out there trying to summon your elder.
Okay.
You're a great one. And once you do that, that's kind of the game's over. And the board has pesky investigators that are out trying to do things that are kind of keeping you in check.
Okay.
So if they can get a couple of elder signs on the board, the game will just flat out end. And of course, if you can pull off all your plots and all your wicked evil deeds, then of course you'll win. And the game's going to go to 13 victory points, and
is this cooperative?
It's not cooperative.
Okay.
No, it's everybody, kind of a free for all. So what's really nice is everybody's got this this basic playmat, and you've got four different areas of your characters, so you can start leveling up your cultists, you're leveling up your leaders, you can start bringing monsters into the fold, and you have madness, and the more madness that you take, the more powerful you get. And basically how a simple round is going to work is you're going to take your dice, you're going to roll them. If you roll an investigation symbol, the investigators actually get a token put onto their pool. If they get too many of these tokens, they're going to open an elder, or they're going to do an elder sign on the board.
Gotcha.
And so you don't want that. So investigation icons are bad. Through madness, you can re-roll things. With these, you always have to put a token, even if you re-roll it. Okay. With these other things, that's mythos. This is how you move on the board. This is how you do combat on the board.
Okay.
And so the idea is you're going to take these dice and you're going to save them over in your active pile. Of course, you have to re-roll your investigations. You have to play the first one on Forbidden Lore. You can actually learn some knowledge. Once you have that, then everybody does that simultaneously, and then it's almost like a dice drafting game.
Yeah, that's a kind of a mouthful. I agree with you there. Yeah.
So it's the idea of I'm going to play a die and do an action, then you're going to play one, then our third player is going to do one, and then back and forth until all the dice are played. And then we're going to visit each location on the board and resolve, a little like a Lords of Waterdeep.
Huh. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
So when are you looking at putting this out? This is going on Kickstarter, I assume?
Yep. We're looking hopefully May, June, something like that.
Okay. So development on it is done. It's
development's really good. We really like where it's at. We're working on final art at this point. There are elements in here that are final. There are a few that are clip art. They're kind of placeholder while we work with other things.
What's the name on this one?
This one's going to be called Madness at Midnight.
Madness at Midnight. I like it. Yes. Excellent. Anything else you want to tell us about?
That's all I got. I mean, War Quest, I guess.
I think this is good.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's one other thing. We didn't have it. It didn't show up in time. But one of our other studios, L4 Studios, my good friend Keith Bloom, and we've got Liar's Dice. So we'll be doing a reprint of Liar's Dice.
Really?
Back into circulation. Yep.
Okay.
So we were hoping to have a production sample here, but it just didn't quite make it.
Very cool. One of my favorite games of all time, actually.
I love it as well.
Yeah.
Richard Borg is a great guy to work with, and it was amazing that it was available. And we were like, why isn't this game on the market? Why isn't it still available? It needs to be. And so we're going to do our best to make that happen.
All right, great. Good talking to you, man.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and then we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Because they're live, right?
Yeah, we're still over there. Hey, everybody.
This is the live camera.
I know.
But you're come over for some Q&A time.
Yeah, you can go over there and you'll get some FaceTime with the folks on the interwebs.
Rahdo, you could join us. It could be a four. No, there's another seat. Move to the seat and you're staying.
Nice. Who is Sean? You haven't been paying attention.
No.
This is Sean's opportunity to move product.
Yes, any questions for Sean from Mr. B Games, who will be joining us in just a moment?
Okay, we're back.
I'm going to move it
Did
here.
you guys enjoy that one? Mr. B Games, Spurs, fun. And Liar's Dice, that's a good announcement. I love Liar's Dice. In fact, for those of you who know, my username on BGG is Liar's Dice.
It is.
Did you know that?
I did know that.
I love. Well, I run the tournament at WBC, and we get like 250 people in a room all at the same time, shaking cups to start it.
Right?
It's super loud. 250 people shaking cups and all slamming them to the table at once and starting the games of like every game playing the tournament all at once.
I may know a guy who might help you out with a sponsorship during that tournament.
It doesn't need sponsorship. It's in and locked in.
I may know a guy who can prize support.
Prize support, yes. I got prize support a few years ago for it, and yes. And Richard I know very well.
Too cryptic. He's talking about.
I know, Mr. B Games.
I'm just
So
making sure you're.
we might have some prize support for Liar's Dice. Just so you guys know, you didn't hear that from me, but we may have prize support for Liar's Dice at WBC this year. Not only is Richard very nice, but his publisher is very nice as well. Sean's a very nice person.
Yeah. It's sort of, it's a wobbly table. The keyboard's all wonky.
Is this still live?
Yeah, we're still live. They're just sitting here watching us wait for Sean to come over.
Just waiting for him to get his act together.
Come on, Sean. Pull it together. Lots of baggies.
The one thing that someone has asked that we've seen go by so far that Sean can think about as he's walking over here is, do you have more games from Terra Nova coming down the pipeline?
We do.
And as soon as he gets here, in front of the microphone, he will answer that question. Tune in about 5 to 10 seconds, and you'll. That's how fast he'll be here. Yeah, and we're back. And we're joined with Sean from Mr. B Games. So people are asking what other games from that design studio are coming down the line.
So they just recently signed and gave me the green light to talk about they're doing Dubai.
Okay.
Which is a really, really clever little card building game. And it uses, I've found it very impressive, negative space, whereas you're building buildings, levels in a building, like in skyscrapers. And the way the cards are built, they're kind of at this weird kind of angle, So you lay it on top of each other each time as it's skewed. And as it does it, it almost looks like city blocks and actual three-dimensional skyscrapers. Beautiful. Just a brilliant looking idea.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And the game has actually was doing really well in some of the print and play circles and awards and whatnot. And it's actually pretty well regarded. And you know, Justin and Robert were super excited about it, and you know, put it under contract. And I have the utmost faith in them that they will, you know, pick up some amazing artwork for it and do some great
How
development.
about their back catalog? Ophir is theirs as well.
Ophir's a
correct?
fantastic game. We're going to look into see if there's a way we can get that back into print.
Okay.
Right now, it's Far Space Foundry is the only thing that that we have that we could work on right away given the time.
Gotcha.
But it's one of those ones I'd like to look back into it because I think it's a phenomenal little game. And with Dubai coming, I mean, the idea is to just let those guys do what they're really good at. And you know, my role is to kind of help support everybody in the family of the team. You know, get everybody doing one or two games that they can all focus on and do really to their best ability. And why do we need 10 pitch guys, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of our concept.
So this person's saying that they like Helionox, but wishes there was more cards of different variety. How many cards are going to be in the expansion?
It'll be a full, almost a duplicate of what you see in the core game. So I think the core game had 80. I have it near me, I just don't recall. It'll be very similar. So 60 to 80 new cards, new planets, things of that nature. So.
There's a request for an origin story. How did Mr. B Games get started?
Goodness, an origin story. I thought you meant like an origins, like
not an origins,
Right.
not an origins story, but you know, how did you form the company?
I started the company in 2005 to make my very first game, which was Terraforming, which is a little card game. It was based off of one of my all-time favorite games, Mule, the PC game. I tried to get the Mule license, couldn't get it, and I was like, well, I'll just make a card game version, right? That has all the elements. I made it. It was originally a board game. I discovered how expensive it would be to make that. I went on the trade show circuit to try to get publishers to buy it. I went to at least a dozen different people. I met amazing people in the industry who were brutally honest with me and told me I shouldn't publish it and that it wasn't going to get made. And I foolhardishly said, I'm going to do it anyway, and learned the hard way that it's very difficult to publish. It's very difficult to make a game. But going to those shows and doing that, I met, you know, my future employers, and I got a job in the industry, and then kind of came up through the ranks and kind of saw the right way to publish and the right way to do things, and kind of I realized that I really jumped the gun because I really wanted to make it. And so my passion overdrove my reality check. And the game still did well. I mean, I sold through 700 of my 1,000 units. So, I mean, all in all, not bad, but I overpaid for them. I didn't really know a good producer. I was great at making a game. I wasn't very good at making it and at actually producing it. And then I kind of flipped the script and I got really into the logistics side and the making of the game, the actual production. And they're two different worlds, and I tell people all the time, I think you need to make a decision sometimes if you want to be a designer or a publisher, because they are two really different universes.
So as a designer, how do you prototype? Do you put more in and then cut it down, or do you start small and add on?
For me, I just make the game that I want to make, right? So it's whatever I feel like whatever I'm trying to bring to the world. If I feel like this concept is this concept, then I just make that concept. And I try not to live in the confines of, oh, I better not make too many cards or tokens or anything like that. As a designer, I just go for full creativity of what I want to do. As a publisher, I come over to guys and go, why can't we make these tokens? Why can't we reduce this card count? Right? I try to, you know, incorporate things to keep it within the confines of where we need to. So I definitely feel like it's a two-way street. But as a designer, I try to design a game that's going to invoke a feeling, to give me some kind of a theme or some kind of a depth that makes me want to come and play it. And really, honestly, for me, if I enjoy it and I love it and I want to play it, then that's the game I make. I try not to design something for someone. I try to design it for me first.
Okay. Do you guys have more questions for Sean from Mr. B? Write them in now. We don't have any more. We're waiting for some.
Who's the designer of Dubai?
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Pronounce his name.
They're asking because there's several prototypes floating around on Board Game Geek, and they're wondering which one to look at. But if you don't have that information right off the bat.
Not off the top of my head, I'm really sorry. I came unprepared for the live Q&A that nobody told me I'd be on. I'm just kidding.
Oh, favorite type of board game genre and mechanism.
Ooh. Personally, not necessarily to publish.
Wow, I really like dice mechanics type games. I mean, I really like checking dice. I mean, that's probably what I came up with, right? RPGs and Risk and Axis and Allies and all that. So I guess I'm a dice chucking, Ameritrash loving.
Here's another one. Would you publish a game you personally don't love because you know others will love it?
I struggle with that quite a bit, actually. And generally, the answer is no. And generally, I've told people if I play it and I don't like it, I generally won't do it. It's been a little different since we've had some studios kind of join the umbrella and on the team because I look at it as if one of my studios feels very passionate about something that they truly believe that game is something they love, I won't interfere.
Right.
Right. Because in my mind, this is your baby, this is your company. You guys believe in it enough, then you know.
Well, you need that passion to begin with. So
absolutely.
I guess if another subsidiary, one of the umbrella studios, is willing to have that passion, that makes up for any lack in it on your part.
Right. Well, early on, I had to be that way because if I'm investing all the time and the energy and I don't enjoy it, it's very hard to be passionate about something you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think that is a problem. I've worked at different companies where they'd ask you to go sell something that you didn't like and you didn't agree with and you didn't think you should be doing.
Right.
And it's very difficult. When you genuinely love it and enjoy what you do, nothing's work. And that's why I started making games on my own, because nothing's ever worked. And it does upset some designers sometimes when they're like, this is a brilliant design, why can't you see it? I'm sorry, for me, it's not for me. And it's just, you guys see it all the time with reviews, I'm sure.
Right.
You play something, you believe in the mechanic, you love the presentation, you love what they did, but it just doesn't strike a chord with you. There's too many games for us all to strike a chord with, so.
Yeah.
For Madness at Midnight, do players draft dice from a single pool? Explain more about how it works.
Yeah, so everybody has their own set of dice.
Oh, cool.
And so they're all going to roll them simultaneously, and then they're going to put them in their own pool. That's fine.
So that's the answer to that one. Any designers you would like to collaborate with?
Well, I mean, I love working with Lonnius. I've worked with him several times at this point. I mean, he's a great personal friend of mine. I really enjoy working with Richard Board. I've had the honor the last year and a half to work with Glenn Drover. I've really found enjoyment working with him. I mean, he was at Eagle when they gave me my first start. So to come back to go full circle to work with somebody who gave you a break in the industry, with him and Keith, right? Those guys brought me on when they had no reason to. And to be, 10 years later and go, sure, come on, right? Come on board. I can help you. It's great. So, those guys. And, I really like working with Kevin Wilson. I haven't had the opportunity to do a game with him, but I've known him for many years and been good friends with him. And there's probably a handful of others that I'm forgetting. But
And I know, silly question here, but what's your favorite side of die? The D4, the D6, the D8, the D10, the D12, the D20?
Oh, it's got to be the D6, man. Ameritrash. Right? I never actually thought about that. What's your favorite die?
I think the D20 is just a little too unwieldy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'd have to go back from that. I think the D12, the dodecahedron is really...
D10 seems very practical.
I like the 10.
Yeah.
And it's useful. It can be used in a lot of ways.
What did I see the other day? I saw the double D6s. Yes. Like there was a 12-sider that was a
12-sider with the 1 through 6 on it.
Well, yeah, I thought that was genius. I saw that the other day.
I like the D20 because it reminds me of like Formula Day and like racing.
And getting smoked.
So here's the next question.
How's it going, Tom?
Oh, Tom's here now, finally. Everyone's been wondering where you've been all day, Tom. They're like, where's Tom? He's not doing
the
any
man
work.
behind the scenes.
That's what they said. They said you have a volcanic lair with a cat. Or actually a bottle of hot sauce that you've been rubbing.
Hot sauce.
So you are now Dr. Evil. Here's a question. The future of post-human and expansions for that?
Wow, the future of post-human is currently they're doing a like a tabletop or like a PC version that you can play on Steam. And that's on Kickstarter actually currently. They're trying to get that going. And then from there they want to do some digital ports. I believe they want to try to go to more like traditional phone type things. And then also we're working on, or Gordon is working on a standalone, not standalone expansion, but like what happened once you got to the fortress. So like a continuation.
Look to see if they're almost ready to go. You guys close?
Almost ready. We could take 1 or 2 more questions for Sean from Mr. B. So please get some questions in quickly.
A lot of people are really excited about the double 6 die.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the one where the 6 die is inside the other 6 die?
No.
That's pretty cool too. But I mean,
Where you have a D6 that's glass, and then there's another little D6 inside of it.
Or the non-breakable version made of plastic.
there you go.
I think the glass ones are 1, expensive, and 2, just a terrible idea. Especially the one inside that gets all chipped. You don't want that. It's a lot of money for not a good return. Get the plastic ones, or just get the D12s with the 1
I've
through
had
6.
many people. They're always like, whenever you're on like these shows and things, like pitch, you like go off on tangents about gaming, cool gaming things. Oh my God! Speaking of cool gaming things, I totally forgot about an accessory I should have told them about.
Tell us.
Oh my goodness!
It's a
We're
live
live.
stream.
This is
Oh my
live stream.
God.
Just tell
So,
us.
I've never really been like an accessory kind of guy,
Yeah.
and this guy up in Canada made this amazing accessory, and I was just like, I have to have this, and so we picked it up, and it's called Uber Stacks, and it is think of like a Scrabble tile rack.
Okay.
That is like a Lego. You can click it and move it and interchange it any way you want. And you can
that
like put
sounds
all your
awesome.
tiles and dice and meeples and cards, anything you want in any configuration, and they come in colors.
Tom,
They're
do you know
super
about
badass.
this? Do you know
I have one in
about
my
this?
bag. You want me to grab it?
Yeah, get it.
Because it's super awesome.
Do you know about this?
Okay, I don't know what
He
this
doesn't even know what he's
is.
talking about.
It's like
Stop
this
yelling.
is really awesome. What Sean's telling us about right now.
Well, you still haven't told me what this is.
Okay, so he's talking about a modular tile rack system. He's bringing it now. He's got a prototype. In the next 5 to 10 seconds, we'll have you a prototype.
10. I can update.
See, he's back.
Uber Stacks.
Yes, it is right.
Wow.
Okay, we're getting a demo of Uber Stacks here, which sounds like the most cool thing ever as an accessory for games.
So,
It's like playing with someone in the
boom, tile rack.
Okay.
Or I need to customize it.
Wait, so boom, you put them together and you have now a tile rack to put tiles on. Is that really
Isn't that just what he
cool?
said?
But I'm
that is
showing
what he
it to the
just said.
camera.
And
I'm
then
showing it to the
you need
camera.
to do like, oh, I need it to go bigger. You pop one on the back, and then you can start taking them up higher. Like,
my
ooh, I
goodness.
need more stuff.
It's a high rise if you got enough pieces.
So now you
it
have
looks
a
like you could
triple
flip it and
tile
it could
rack.
also
Look at
be a
that.
shield. You need to like advertise that bit.
Oh, I
Also-
just got this. Like,
Uber Stack.
and then, of course, because they're all modular, right, you can go wider on the base. You can also start kicking them out that way, right? So, however, like if you're playing Memoir 44, I could just make it super long, put all my left, center, rights in my rack.
Is this, are they all white?
No, I've got 6 colors on them.
Oh.
So you can color
Tom's
code,
excited now too. Tom's excited. Do you hear the ooh?
Like you could also, here are the tiles that I don't know what to do with yet, but these are the
Yes,
ones I'm going to
exactly.
use.
Yes.
I can plan out my moves.
Right.
This is a great.
That's the greatest thing I've ever
Thanks,
seen.
Sean.
Like honestly, the greatest thing. Like I saw this and they brought
You
me
haven't
and he
seen
was
it
telling me about these and I'm like,
Eric,
I have to have these. I'm like, can you be part of the Mr. B family, please?
So
I believe
how
you
soon?
opened this up
How
here,
soon will we
so
see
I
this?
think-
I'm looking to have these like April, May.
Wow.
I just solicited them into distribution. I'm here at this show to show distributors and say, please carry this in stores. I think it's a great product.
That is pretty cool. And like how this pack had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces in it.
Yeah, and it basically shows you on the back with 6, you can make like 4 different configurations. And then they give you a little instruction sheet with 2 sets, you can make like 30 different configurations or some crazy.
When will this be available?
That was in all caps.
We
Will
hope
this be available?
We hope May. Okay. I really, really hope May.
So,
and I think
in
that's
board
really
gaming
possible.
terms, that means July.
No, they're here. Like they're in. I'm just soliciting.
It's just a matter of
distributors. It's
getting
getting orders and
You've
getting them
got
out to
it.
everybody.
Fantastic.
Tom's
Very
wondering when he's
well,
getting some.
I think we should end with
I
that.
think it's right up your alley.
Tom wants some. That was Tom in the back going. "Send
Sean,
some
thank
to
you
us,
very
send
much.
some
No
to
problem.
us."
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
Yes, thanks, Sean. Let's turn it around. We've got our next people on, so we're going to turn the camera around and get back for some more interviews. Yay! Hello.
Hello, world. Yeah, we got the live camera over there, but don't worry about that. It's like a behind the scenes stuff. That's super. Oh yeah, click that bad boy on.
Wait. Does it beep twice when it starts recording?
No, you turned it on and off. Click it. There you go. Yeah, we're good. I'm gonna just clap at the beginning for audio visuals.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, here we go. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our GAMA Trade Show 2016 coverage. I'm Zeke Garcia. I am here with Martin from Portal Games.
Hello, guys.
How are you?
No, not so bad, not so bad. Bit
Good.
exhausted, but it's okay.
Of course, we're all getting there very soon. And we're going to be taking a look at some upcoming games from Portal.
Yeah.
And first off, we have right here on the table a darling of mine, actually, 51st State Master Set.
Master set, exactly.
What have we got? Tell me a little bit about it.
The game, actually, it's a new version of the existing 51st State. And Ignacy just redesigned this game again. And for those who's familiar with the first edition, that might be a bit surprised because the game is quite different. It's smoother, faster, more aggressive. In my opinion, much better.
Okay, cool. So give us just an overview of the mechanics of the game. How does it work? How do we win?
If actually the people are familiar with the Imperial Settlers, that's because the game is based on the Imperial Settlers mechanism. Unlike in the Imperial Settlers, we don't have a faction cards. We don't play as a factions here. So basically, instead of this, we have a one deck of cards consists of 88 cards, and we mix them with one of two expansions what are in the box, right?
Okay.
If we would like to play with New Era, we just mix them into the deck of cards, and that gives us opportunity to win for everybody. That's because the chances are equal. We don't have faction cards for each faction.
Right.
We have a factions. We have a deck of cards that are equal for everybody. Right. So how do you win the game? You don't have a specific number of rounds. First player who scored 25 points, he trigger final scoring.
Okay.
So you cannot do the good strategy for five rounds.
Right.
Instead of this, you have a different number of rounds, and this is like racing. That's because you cannot presume how many rounds you will have.
Right. So if someone is slowing down to try to get a lot of points, you can hurry up and beat them before they're ready.
Yeah, that's the major difference between the Imperial Settlers and the 51st State. What's also very important, what's the major difference between this game and the Imperial Settlers is each card you connect to your state are vulnerable. It means you can attack any card in the opponent's state. So you have to think differently when you plan your strategy. That's because every card can be attacked by the others.
Right.
So this is like it's very frantic. That's because you can attack the other players, but you might be attacked by the others as well. So in each, you can of course use the cards in 3 different ways. You can deal with this card. You can spoil that card. You can raise this. You can raise it, or you can attach into your state. So that's how it works in Imperial Settlers as well. We will have in this game very nice customized components. Like I like the small red guns. Also, we have dozens of cards. We have dozens of tokens. 4 different factions. So that's how it looks like. 51st State. Very fast game. Plays within like 60 or 90 minutes, but it could be faster if you hurry up with the others. So that's how it looks like.
Okay, great. And when is this game going to be coming out about?
So now at this time, you can pre-order this game at portalgames.pl.
Okay.
So you can pre-order and you'll receive 2 additional factions, nicer wooden components. So you're really welcome to do it. And the release date will be at the end of May.
Okay.
Worldwide.
Okay.
Which is cool. Like you can find this game at the same date in Europe, in every store, and in Poland, in the USA. So that's what we're trying to do.
Gotcha. Okay, great. And now a quick question for you. After the pre-orders are over and I go down to the store and buy one, is it there's components in it that won't there will be components in the pre-order that I won't have in that sealed game, right?
You won't have it, the components what you can find in the pre-order version,
right.
But the components will look pretty much the same. The components from the normal version, that's the components from the normal version.
So these are the normal ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
So the deluxe version looks like they have some special signs on it.
Cool.
Something.
All right, looks good.
Nice.
What else have we got coming from you guys this year?
Yeah, next one.
Let's move these out of
yeah.
the way, and you can put some components in there.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited that's because
This is going to come home with me anyway.
yeah, you have an extra copy. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited that because it's a GAMA announcement. The Crazy Cards. It's a very fronting racing game. It's a family game, guys. That's you've heard about this game like first in the world. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Here, let me get that cover. And
We
we'll-
haven't
we'll
announced.
show that off.
We haven't announced this game to anybody. So.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
It's noon at 12 o'clock. Yeah, that's a premiere. So
There we go.
that's a GAMA announcement.
All right. Tell me a little bit about it.
It's a fronting racing game. I love it. That's because it's a family game. When you have a modular base, modular boards, you play as a team. So each team consists of 2 players.
Okay.
Right. One person he's responsible for braking, turning, and charging the cart, while the other is responsible for speeding up, shooting, and repairing. Right?
Wow.
What's the tricky thing? See, the thing is they cannot communicate each other. So you can imagine how big mess could be.
Wow.
So
okay.
basically, we have a cart at the beginning of the race. We have a cart. Okay, just a small mistake here. Let's say we're gonna play dwarfs, right? That's because we have in this game we have 4 different cards. We have I have prepared the dwarfs card and the goblins one. They are very sneaky.
All right.
So behind the screen, we are preparing our cards. The slower we are, the more cards we have. Let's say.
Lots of stuff in this box.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
there's
that.
a lot of that. Will be 10 punch boards in this game. It'll be very heavy. Heavy with the components, but very light with the gameplay. Right. At the beginning of the race, we have speed 0, but we can draw 6 cards. But faster we go, less cards we have. So that means when we go faster, we can less operate the turnings, and this not so much flexible about this. The card hasn't got so very good skills of turning and etc.
Right.
So when players are ready, they reveal the screens and they just resolve by the initiative. They resolve the actions. Let's say I put 3 cards on the 3 symbols. Sorry, on the spinning up, and let's say my colleague. He just want to turn. So we resolve step by step. First, we have to count the initiative. Who goes first on the board? Then we can use the special abilities. For example, dwarves are very good with the obstacles on the way. Yeah, I forgot to put some.
So ramming is what you're doing.
Have a look how many components you have here. This is also this is only a prototype, so the wheel looks quite different. But at the beginning of the game, you put some obstacles on the way. Then the race starts. The dwarves are as I said. The dwarves are very good with the breaking the obstacles because they can use the ramp to break an obstacle.
Okay.
Otherwise, they'll be harmed by that obstacle. For example, they can jump into the pond, so they reduce their speed to 0 and reduce their power ups to 0. They just they fell to the pond. You can go across the rocks. You can hit the rocks. You can go into the happy farm. You can just release the animals, and there will be the mess on the board. You're getting power ups. So what's the feeling about playing the game? It's like basically for me it's like playing the code names. When you're playing, you're trying to communicate with your teammate, but you cannot say anything. What would you like to plan? So after when they're revealing, when each player reveals their plans, they say, "Oh, come on, you shouldn't do it. Like, don't do it again. You have to focus. Next time, you have to go forward, not to turning, etc., etc." So the feeling is like
It's like a Robo Rally meets Codenames kind of.
but
game.
with more interaction, with more interaction, with more fronting things. What's happening? the speed of the game. It's very fast game. So that's how it looks like.
Great. So about how long is the gameplay on this one?
With 8 players, which is very important.
Is that the maximum number of
that's
players?
The maximum
8?
number of players. We can play with 4 teams, and if you have odd numbers of players, one of the players becomes a lone wolf. He is operating his own card, but each round the card it's broken apparently. So at the beginning of the race, he can start with broken brakes or something like that. You can shoot to each other. You can repair your card. We have in this game 4 different cards. We have dwarves. We have goblins. They are very sneaky. That's because they can turn before they go. We have also mummies, which are very cool. That's because they can do bandages. From the bandages, they can do a lasso. They can, grab the other cards.
They used to do that in mummies, yeah.
Yeah. And the last we have an elves. They are very flexible. They can take some power-ups from the adjacent places.
Okay.
So each card has different abilities to do it, and you can also do a challenge. You can do a championships. You can also after winning, you can pimp your card, basically by the shields, by the iron legs or super cannon, etc., etc.
Gotcha.
More will come, guys. So stay tuned. That's because this game will be a totally crazy family game.
So when is this game coming out from you guys?
I have a surprise for you. Origins.
Origins.
Yeah, Origins, guys. Like a
That
couple of
is
months.
right around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not on the ship yet, but
very soon.
It's soon, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Glad to hear about it. And that one's called
Crazy Cards.
Crazy Carts. There you have it.
Exactly.
All right, why don't you go ahead and start talking about the next one, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
start
have
putting
to
all of this
remove-
away.
yeah.
Okay. So what else have we got coming up?
From the other side, we have a nice next big strategy game from the Portal Games.
Okay.
We're well known from the good strategy games, yeah, like a Hiroshima, like Theseus, even Imperial Settlers. It's a strategy game. But this time, I brought with me the Cry Havoc. Cry Havoc, the game made by Grand Rodiek with little help of Michał Oracz, the author of Hiroshima Hex, and Michał Walczak, author of solo game expansion for Legacy.
Right.
So this is our first game with the miniatures. We are very proud of. That's because this game will have more than 50 customized miniatures. I brought a map. I'd like to tell you something about the map. That's because that was a small adventure. Try to imagine we brought a map. It should be a board game, but somebody just made mistake during the printing thing. So I brought straight from Poland the game from the board. It won't be look.
This is fun. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
great.
it won't be look like. Maybe I stand up. Yeah? Well, we have a tent right now. No.
Hey, everybody.
Let's show to the others how the map will look like. Yay! Just hold that stuff.
This would make for a deadly paper cut, I'll tell you that.
Guys, like a mega civilizations can, go back home. That's the biggest map ever.
You guys have the biggest printer ever, I'm pretty sure.
Definitely.
So this is what the map will look like, obviously, in a human-sized format, though, right? Not for giants.
We won't in this situation. We won't bring miniatures. The humans will play as a human.
You just stand on the board.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay. All right, let's get this thing out of here so we can actually
of course,
continue talking.
the board will looks like the size of the board will be like in the Stronghold or in Robinson Crusoe.
Okay.
Just to fit to the miniatures. What's all about? Yeah, this is a strategy game where players can take a role of they can take control over the one of the 4 different factions.
All right.
Why the game is quite unique? That's because of the very smart mechanism of the resolution battle. How you can resolve the battles. Try to imagine you have 3 different objectives here. As an invader, you'd like to know exactly, would like to decide what would you like to grab it from the terrain you'd like to attack. So you can put your miniatures on the terrain on the terrain objective, or you can put your miniatures on the prisoners, or you can put your miniatures on the attrition objective.
Attrition, okay.
Of course, you can split them as well. Then the defender, he is able to decide what he would like to defend. He'd like to defend the territory. He'd like to keep his miniatures not to be prisoners, or he'd like to take the revenge and kill everybody as well. After that, when the invaders put their miniatures and the defender put their miniatures on the board, players are able to play some cards.
Okay.
After that, we resolve step by step by the objectives. Who has an advantage out there? So if you have more miniatures than your opponents, you claim the territory. Like if you have more miniatures than your opponents on the prisoners, you get a prisoner. Then, you can do a casual. You can kill as many miniatures as you have miniatures on the attrition objective.
Gotcha.
Very simple, very intense. It's very easy to find who's gonna win, right?
Got it. So very, very in-your-face gameplay with miniatures.
Exactly. Right.
Okay. How many players?
Up to 4 players.
Up to 4. Okay.
What's also important in this game, the length of the game depends how good you are. It doesn't. If all of the players are pretty solid players, the game consists 5 or 6 rounds, right?
Okay.
But if you are very good with this, what you are doing, if you're a Napoleon of the strategy, right? If you just blow up your enemies, the game there doesn't really matter to play more rounds, but because you become the winner anyway. Yeah?
Oh, I see.
So the mechanism of the game shorts the game automatically. So
the idea is to not be sitting there.
Exactly.
Keep playing while you already know I'm gonna win.
Exactly.
So the game stops at that point.
The game stops. You actually stops at the point. That's because the winner is obvious.
Huh.
So
Okay.
That's the thing.
Very cool.
What's also very important, you have on the board what we've seen before. We have terrain cards, and when you draw terrain, you give an informations to your opponents that you are planning to attack the specific terrain, right?
Gotcha,
We have a
gotcha.
water, we have a desert, we have a mountains and the forests. So when I draw a forest cards, that means in some stage of the game I'd like to attack the forest territory, right? So this is like inside information from the game. So if you're focused on what we are trying to do, what we're trying to achieve, that helps you, to observe the different movement of your opponents.
Gotcha.
What's very unique and very not unique for Portal, of course, we have 4 different factions. You have a totally different feelings of playing. So we have humans. They come on the planet and then trying to take control over the planet, right?
All right.
They are just invaders and they just want to take what they find.
Okay.
From the other side we have inhabitants, trogs. That's how they call them, the big monkeys. And the trogs were here for for the ages, all right? They were since the planet has been populated.
Okay.
So they fight just to survive, but they are in numbers. So each time when somebody else goes to the new terrain, we reveal the tokens and we see how many trogs appears.
Because they're living there.
They're living there,
Right.
of course. They can use also the tunnels, so they can move straight away from the one side to the other, from the one from the one place to the other without any efforts.
Okay.
Apparently, machines appears on the planet, so they have no purpose to nothing except killing everybody.
Okay.
This is a Moloch, right? There are machines that just want to kill any species, any natural life. On the planet, that's their purpose. But last but not least, there are pilgrims, and they came here to examine the resources on the planet. They don't care about the territory. They don't care about anything else than they want to just examine the resources what they found on the planet.
So they're sort of like pacifists then, right? They're just looking.
Yeah, but
they're
they have their own purpose to win actually. So in this game you have different purposes, different ways to achieve the victory points, right? Because the player who has scored the most victory points is the winner, but each faction gives you a different opportunity to do it. So
Gotcha.
that's how it looks like. The
Okay.
Cry Havoc released at the Gen Con.
okay. So later this year, very nice.
Super.
Excellent. All right, and you've got some more stuff to show us.
Yes, quite important thing for the players, I'd say.
There you go. Now this box I've seen before.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, that's a Robinson Crusoe. We are very proud of to show you how the English version will looks like, because on September you will find this box on your shelves in the favorite store.
Okay.
The Robinson Crusoe, that will be we will call them the edition of the year. That will be, of course, in English, and it will be based on the Polish edition.
Okay.
Right? So what will be the difference between the first one and the current one and the new edition of Robinson Crusoe? What you will find? First of all, it will be published by Portal Games, right?
Mhm.
That's the rule book will be rewriting, right?
Okay.
Will be bit shorter. In addition, you will find all the trimmings what we have in the Polish version. Actually, we have stickers on the palms. You will find the wooden customized components, thicker cardboard for archers. Also, we have 7th scenario, King Kong.
Okay.
It's about gather the monkey from the aisle to use it in Hollywood.
Mhm.
And what else? The tokens they'll have names. That will be easier to find what's exactly here, right?
I see.
So if you're familiar with the current edition, what you have, you will find a new edition. Except everything this, you will find also the new new art on the box, done by Vincent Dutoit, the guy who just painted the Lewis and Clark.
Mhm.
So we will have a new cover. This edition will be available in September, I'd say.
So it'll be very much like this one, but in English, obviously, and with a new
Will
cover.
be the same except the new cover, right? So, but you'll see the square box instead of coffin box. You'll find the
all the upgraded components, but
Exactly.
it will actually be a new drawing on the cover. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Let's talk a little bit about your upcoming First Martians game as well. I know you don't have anything to show us here.
Yeah, not yet. I'm really sorry.
Yeah,
But
that's
the first Martian, will hit shelves in Essen, I'd say, during the Essen.
Okay.
We hope that we'll do it.
And
everybody-
tell us a little bit just about the game in general, just a little pitch about it.
People, if somebody likes Robinson Crusoe, right, he would love the First Martian. That's because the game, the First Martian will take everything was the best from Robinson Crusoe.
Mhm.
I mean, the mechanism and the story behind everything what people loves from Robinson Crusoe. But we'll add something more. We'll add an application.
Right, an app. You're using an app that you could do on what, an iPad, I assume, on
On
what
iPad,
platforms?
on all the platforms, let's say that we have, we confirmed an application for iPhones, for Androids, for tablets, and for computers as well.
Okay.
For PCs as well. But what will be the major difference between the Robinson Crusoe and the First Martian is an application, as I said. Instead of having event cards in First Martian, you'll have an application that gives you an opportunity to find so many adventures on the Mars. Maybe I help with myself with some nice example. Let's say we're playing the big campaign. The campaign consists of 5 scenarios. During the first scenario, we're going outside from the hub. We're going to search something was in the rocks. We came on the cliffs. Apparently, we just fell down, right? An application asks us, you have to pass the test. If you didn't do it, you just mark it. I failed with the test, and that happens, right? You come back to the hub, and lives goes on. You just finish you finish the first scenario. You just put this game on the shelf again, and you just do your normal life. Then you're going back to the campaign. You pass to second scenario, third scenario, fourth scenario. Then you came to the fifth, the grand finale scenario, right? During this game, the hub is going to collapse.
Okay.
Right. You have to run out from the hub because it's like a decompressing, something like that.
Okay.
You came to wear your spacesuit, and at this time, an application asks you, have you seen the small scratch on your spacesuit? You haven't. That's because during the first scenario, when you fell down from the cliff, you just broke the spacesuit. So you have 2 rounds to find a new spacesuit. Right? In this example, I'd like to tell you that the application can remember exactly what was happened a couple of months ago in the real life.
Right, right. So basically, the application, and correct me if I'm wrong, not only will hide the second part of the card from you, right? So like, okay, you know what happened, but you don't know the aftermath of that. Not only will it do that, but it will remember that from game to game.
And it reminds you also an ongoing effects as well.
Right.
Like, for example, you broke a leg, right? You can go to the medical center, but it takes you the whole round.
Gotcha.
And but you have no time to do it. You have no time to do it. That's because some more important things they have to be done, right? Next round, the application reminds you, come on, guys, you have to go to the medical center. That's otherwise you'll be hurting. You'll be hurt, right? So you just say, oh, come on, I'll do it because I have to do something else, right? Then the next round, the application tells you, you have only 1 pawn instead of 2. That's because you cannot move. You cannot move. You stick to the current position when you are, and you can go across the hub. So they couldn't be possible to do with the event cards.
Right.
And the application will helps you to remember ongoing effects during the game.
Now, I assume also, since it is an application, you're able to put a lot more cards in the application that you couldn't put in the box, right?
Of course, you're right. That's because we can tag all the adventures, right? For example, we have in this game we will have 3 different campaigns. Each campaign will consist of 4 or 5 scenarios with the grand finale. We have also the 3 solo campaigns. A single mode campaigns.
Like one-shot campaigns, is that what you mean?
No, it's not like that. You draw, let's say you have a mood on to do some exploration things, right?
Okay.
So you place, you're playing an exploration mode, then application draws all the adventures that tags with the exploration mode.
I see.
You draw also the random goal of the scenario. Let's say you have to explore some hidden caves because some raiders say that there is an ice in unable.
So you can tell the application, I want to play an exploration-heavy game, and it will go fine. And these all the exploration stuff.
Each game will be totally different because it will be randomized adventures.
Gotcha.
So that's how it works like. And also, except campaign, except the single-player mode, we have also the sandbox mode, so we can play freely. We can achieve more goals, and etc., etc. I would like to just empathize. That's because somebody just said it won't be a typical board game. It will be 100% board game. Just instead of having event cards, you have an application.
Right.
That's a new way. It will be like a legacy mode with the endless possibilities. You will feel the immerse of the game. That's because you will be in the game. That's our goal.
Now, question for you, and this might be too early for the question, but are you guys planning on adding more cards to the application as you go?
It's not like adding more cards. We'll call to action. Let's say it's the 16th of July, next anniversary of landing Americans on the moon right now, and we'll just call to action. Guys, there's a new campaign on the App Store. You can download this for free. You can play, and you can simulate the landing on the moon instead of landing on the Mars. So every time we'll have a good opportunity to do it. We'll add some new stuff to the app, and everybody will just update the application, and during the game we can share on the Twitter who was the first one to score it, and etc. etc. That will be like a not online game, but we're trying to do a board game with online society.
Okay.
That's
okay.
what we're trying to do.
Right, right. Like a community that comes
Community
around
will
the,
be,
the
I
game.
hope that the community will be very, very huge. That's because of the first motion, because of the application and new possibilities, opportunities to do. I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds excellent. So when can we get our hands on it?
We'll try to do an Essen.
Okay. So you're shooting for Essen, but that's not guaranteed.
I'm not quite sure. We cannot guarantee. That's because we, as with the previous titles, we'd like to do a worldwide premiere.
Right.
It means we have to ship to USA like early, like 2 months early, right?
Right.
To do it, but we'll try to do it. And we're working hard. We'll, Ignacy is our boss. We'll try to do as best as possible.
Okay. Well, good. Great talking to you, Martin.
Thank you, Z.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for tuning in.
Cheers.
We'll see you.
Thank you. Right. So.
Okay. Very quick.
We have a
Let me
lot
bring
of
us
questions.
over. We have a lot of questions
Yeah,
for you
I
from the
figured.
audience. Will he be able to clean up and you come with us quickly?
Sure.
It'll be quick with the audience. So go around where Suzanne is.
I'm not sure what that scheduling is. But that's okay, because I can just knock Osprey out and steal their Odin's Raven.
Sit next to Suzanne.
I don't have it yet, and I desperately want it.
That's the call that has to be made.
Help, yeah. Oh, God, there's a camera. Yeah.
Okay, no, come back here. Okay, where's Marcin? Where'd he go? The Osprey's on the list for some point, aren't they?
Well, Osprey is a squish in.
Okay, we're gonna switch him in tell him right after Japan.
Okay. So why don't we
Come sit right here. Okay, so we have the audience who's been watching. We're with Marcin. What we're gonna do is we're going to talk with Marcin for a few minutes, get your questions, and then we're gonna shut down this live feed and switch to our next live feed, the one that was supposed to start at 1, but I know we're a little bit late, so we'll probably start that about 1:15. So we'll finish up this, and then we'll switch to the next live feed. So a lot of people had questions about First Martian
Really?
here. Yeah, they want to know about the legacy aspects,
Come on, give me some
et cetera,
questions.
et cetera. Let me go back. There was a ton of them coming here.
Really? Greetings for everybody, guys.
Okay, excellent. Because I wanted to get you after Osprey.
Where'd you go?
Send the questions. Okay, so what does the app actually do?
Application will randomize the game. You don't have a
microphone.
What?
The other, not this
I use this
microphone.
one, yeah. Sure,
Yes, she says. We need the other microphone for the other interviews.
You have a glass of water?
Yes, there's water
dust in my
right
mouth.
behind this.
So, Z?
I don't want to interrupt this. That's fine. I survive. Like, I played Robinson Crusoe. I can survive without the water. Come on.
Yes, here you go. Robinson Crusoe. Are you gonna make an app for that too?
No, not at all.
Just for First Martian.
It's for First Martian. That's because it suits perfectly, right? The game, it will be about the more science than the fiction. So if we're gonna use an application, it will suit to the game. I cannot imagine the game Robinson Crusoe with an application, to be honest.
And what platforms are you going to put the app on?
We confirmed that we have a confirmed platforms for for an Apple application, like for iPhones, for iPads as well, of course, and for Androids and for PC. That's for sure. We just wondering, are we able to do it on the Windows Phone?
Yep. So someone's asking about Imperial Settlers, the new factions. Do you have new factions that are coming out for that?
Yeah, this year we will have a new faction for Imperial Settlers for sure. I cannot tell you which faction it will be, but it will be I'm very excited because I played already and it's like, come on!
Yes, and they're saying if they like Imperial Settlers, would they like Fifth State? And I say yes. If they like Imperial Settlers, will they also like 51st State?
Yes, but it will be like we have factions in 51st State, but they are not very significant. I mean, you don't have a faction decks, right? So it means there's no need to put special cards for every faction. We have a faction. We have the small boards for each faction, but we have an expansions for 51st State that consists only 50 cards, and it will sell in a small, package of cards.
You also had a regular expansion for 51st State as well. Is that one going to be released as well with this new edition?
In this new edition, we'll have a base card consists of 88 cards and 2 expansions, New Era and Within the Winter.
Okay.
And each of these expansion consists of 50 cards.
Yes.
So you can mix. Basically, how does it work? Like, you can mix base cards with the one of 2 expansions. Right? You are not able to mix 2 of the expansions. Just one expansion and base cards. That's
So
how it
here's
works.
the last question is, First Martian, is it playable without the app, or will you need the app?
You need the application. It will be in the part of the game. You won't be able to play without an application.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're going to let you go on this feed. Everyone's going to turn to the next feed now. Sam, come here and switch the feed. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for
Yes,
your
thank you so much. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Appreciate it.
We are going to end this feed.
Yeah, it was so.
I'll be looking forward to that miniatures game.
And everyone who's watching here, please go to our 1 o'clock feed, which will start up in a second. Where's the thing to end it?
Oh, you want to go to the other YouTube tab? There it is.
Stop streaming.
The Cry Havoc, it's
Oh, we're also